Welcome back, dude and dudettes, to another wild episode of Send It Mate. We're here to talk about all things hunting and outdoors. And today, we've got something that'll keep your gear running smoother than a dingo's getaway.
That's right. Our show is brought to you by High Caliber, the gun and knife oil company that knows how to keep your firearms and blades in tip-top shape.
High Caliber is like the secret sauce for hunters, anglers, and outdoorsy folk everywhere. It's like the magic potion that makes your gun and knives happier than a dog with two tails.
You know, guys, I've been using High Caliber oil for a while now, and let me tell you, it's the duck's nuts. My rifle practically sings a lullaby when I take it out hunting.
And speaking of lullabies, ever tried sneaking up on a deer with a squeaky gun? It's a prime way to end up with no venison in the freezer. You'll be hungrier than a vegan at a bacon festival.
Absolutely. But with High Caliber oil, your gun will be quieter than a ninja in moonlight. You'll be stalking your prey with the grace and stealth of a mountain lion.
High Caliber doesn't just keep things quiet, it also prevents rust and corrosion, so you won't find your gear looking like it spent a season at the bottom of a creek.
That's right, and for you knife enthusiasts out there, High Caliber has got you covered too. Your trusty blade will slice through anything smoother than butter on a hot biscuit.
So, folks, don't let your gear become a rusty, squeaky mess. Head on over to highcaliber.com.au and grab a bottle of their oil today.
And if you use the code SENDITMATE at checkout, you'll get a special discount. I say again, use the code SENDITMATE for all your oil slick, stealthy hunting needs.
Thanks to High Caliber, you'll be sending it in style and silence.
So, gear up, oil up, and send it, mate. High Caliber, the ultimate oil for the ultimate hunter.
Yo, 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 dude and dudettes, what's happening? We are back for Season 5. Boom!
Fuck yeah, it feels good to be back.
It does.
With a microphone in front of my face, looking at you.
You just like cylindrical things in front of your face, don't you?
Mate, I'm not going to fucking deny this right now.
Got that big dick energy.
No, that was the worst pump-up song ever, just quietly. What is a good pump-up song? Is our new intro song.
It is. That's not the only thing that's new to this season, is it? Oh.
Josh, are you identifying differently this season?
Yes.
Is that the big change?
Yes. I am identifying as a cricket bat. Because I got that big dick energy.
Oh, shit. Well, anyway, we are back, Season 5. It is good to be back. You've been missing us. We've had a bit of a break. It's been nice.
It has.
I mean, as much as we love doing the podcast, we have to rest up and...
Look, there's such thing as podcast block, like writer's block or whatever it is. Same thing. There is.
True. The creative juices need to flow.
Yeah, the well runs dry.
So we have changed it up. We've changed it up a lot. So for those who are new to the podcast, I'm Caleb.
And I'm Josh.
And Ryan is gone, everyone.
He passed away, sadly, in a tragic accident.
That was our moment of silence. No, Ryan's moved on to bigger and better things, hopefully. And that has prompted us to get a new guest host.
It has.
And he's been on the podcast before, back in Season 1. So officially, let's welcome Couchy to the podcast.
Hey guys, how are you? It's good to be here. It's a long time coming.
Couchy's just been sitting on his hands for the last 2 years.
Just waiting for this moment. Thanks, Ron.
Oh, dear.
Pass the baton. No, it has been 2 years. You've been a keen listener for 2 years and a mate of ours for ages. I mean, I got to know you through Josh when you lived together, I reckon.
Yeah,
back in the day. That's a long time ago now. You're both in the army together, so.
Yeah, unfortunately, you can't pick your family.
Feels like a lifetime ago, really.
It does. It does. I can't even remember you in camis, mate.
I've forgotten myself in camis.
I'm sure there's some photos kicking around somewhere.
The old jelly bean cam.
I think there might be some photos somewhere, maybe, but it probably also a good thing that we didn't have a camera back then. on our phones.
Actually worked out not long ago that I don't really have many photos from the army, which is
Really?
a bit weird. Or I've lost them with previous phones and stuff like that. But yeah.
I guess it kind of makes sense because you're not, when you're on the job, you're not worried about fucking selfies.
No.
Like you did, like,
Well, not
dead
most
set.
of us anyway.
Not back
mid-section
then.
attack.
I'm sure you've probably got a few topless photos of fucking in front of the mirror or in front of a shiny object. But yeah.
Oh, funny you mentioned that actually, because today I'm, doing my gym, et cetera, and an old mate of
boyfriend
mine
gym.
that we, I was at the gym pumping on. Not that you'd know what that looks like, Caleb.
Okay, as long as you weren't at the iron pumping gym, it's all good.
Just pumping himself full of iron.
No, I had a friend that I trained at another gym when I was in the army actually, and that gym's closed down, and he's just started at my gym. It's not like he's back at the gym; he's always gone. It's just the same gym that I go to. Anyway, me and him have been talking the last few weeks, and he's like, today I was just doing a back exercise, and he's like, "Oh, bro, you should fucking compete next October."
Oh, turn it up. This is not a self-promotion podcast.
Boom.
This is not, that is just blatant self-promotion.
Oh, look, mate, I'll promote myself. Someone's got to. That's
So who
fine.
was it? Do you know? Like, can you say it or?
Yeah, his name's Javine. He's from Nepal, actually. And he competes himself. He's pretty good. But he's like, nah, do it. I'm like, nah, I'm too shy, bro.
Which is why he's talking himself up on an audio format.
No, I got a pretty good body. If you want to jump on, go to my Instagram.
You want to jump on? How did your missus think about that?
No.
What's she going to think?
Have a look. Jump on and have a look. You fucking...
Have you started on OnlyFans yet? No?
Oh, just feet.
Thinking about it?
just feet.
I'm sorry. No
Just a
one is
foot
paying
bends.
money for your feet, my friend.
People will pay money for weird things.
Okay. Is that a challenge?
Do it.
No, because it doesn't stop at the feet, mate. Goes to ankles and then your knees.
No,
and-
you're going to have to skip your legs because they're just toothpicks. But
I mean, I've thought about doing
a
my
classic
knees,
look.
but there'd also be a dick pic as well. So.
you'd have to do a calf. You'd have to do a
Really?
calf
Because
page.
my ankles is sort of where that comes in a frame. Holy
It's
shit.
good to be back. I mean, we've included dicks in the first 5 minutes of the podcast, so
No, you included dicks.
you're the one who's fucking pounding Jim.
Oh, shit. Anyway, we are starting this season with our new guest, Couchy. So, Couchy.
Guest / host. But
Yeah. Sorry, host. That's true.
He's not a guest, he's a host. He's a fully fledged host.
He is. We even had a glass of port over this deal.
Correct. We haven't had port for ages, and I think the sugar has got to you because you've been on the sugar freeze.
Yeah, man. It's kind of weird, actually, because we drink most Mondays or Wednesdays when we do a podcast. I actually get headaches drinking full sugar drinks.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then compound
I
that
can't comprehend that.
with my hearing and wearing headphones to do the podcast. Like, I'll get home and I'll just be like, it's fucking terrible. So I started the sugar-free
Fair enough.
cans.
Maybe we should have replaced you in season 5.
I'm irreplaceable, bro. Don't forget that.
Just remove you in season 6.
Well, actually, I've got a bit of a point of order for you, my friend, because end of season 4, there was a promise of
There is.
a rap song
There
to
is.
be learned and delivered on.
There is.
Did this eventuate?
It did. So I actually put a fair bit of time into learning that song. And look, I'm definitely off key, but yeah, it can happen. I did not bring I need my words written down in front of me to do the song
You could
properly.
probably just download the words. You don't have to write it.
Well, actually, they play the song with words.
Yes.
But yeah, we definitely will be doing a post. I'm happy to do a post on that, man.
All right, so we
True to
can
my
lock
word.
that in. We can lock in a video
I'm
of
looking
you
forward to it.
attempting the song.
Yep.
Will there be an outfit? Will you be wearing?
Got to.
You've got to be wearing something. You've got to wear a do-rag or some shit.
I don't even know what that is.
You really got into the culture of rap, didn't you?
Oh, I was gonna go buy Lil Wayne's outfit and wear that. Yeah, definitely. I don't even know who Lil Wayne is, but that's
I
okay.
don't know, but little is appropriate. So
All my height went into my dick. That's right.
yeah, well, that fell flat. All right, so you are actually going to deliver on that one.
Well, yeah, I'll definitely deliver. There was nothing in my mind to say like to not do it. It was just coincidentally hit a break. Gave me a few more weeks to learn.
You announced it in the last episode of last season, knowing we were going on a break.
Yep.
I can barely remember the song you said you were going to do.
That's
how long ago it was.
Coast Corona.
You can barely remember the
It was
song.
definitely not Coast Corona.
You're just going to change it.
Yeah, something like
Coast
that.
Contra.
That's it. Corona, Contra, same shit. But yeah, I actually enjoyed listening to it, man. I listened to it, do my workouts and throughout the day. Just I'm still off key. Like, wait.
Yeah, I knew that was going
Expected
to
to
happen.
be on key.
Oh, well, it's almost perfect.
Well, we'll see. Anyway, we'll get that happening at some point in the next few weeks.
I thought about, and I've tried doing it in front of the mirror with like a full, this is going to sound bad, but like white, nerdy, sort of like spin to it.
Like a Weird Al Yankovic vibe or something.
Yeah, pretty much. And I tried multiple times and it failed. I'm not even good at being.
You can't even do a shit version of it.
Yeah, it's all right.
Oh, that's fine, mate. Oh, look, I called it very early on that you weren't going to be able to deliver word for word without lyrics in front of you.
Oh, no, I couldn't do it without.
No, originally you said
the words
without
in front of
it.
me.
You'd remember it. As far as
I
my
can
memory
remember
goes.
most of it, man. Yeah, and you're right. I can remember most of it. It's just as soon as the music plays in my head, it's like dyslexia, like
Cloud.
ball of yarn that's just spinning around, and I just forget it all. I'm like,
It's called stage fright.
retardation.
Oh, well, it wouldn't be sent to mate if we didn't deliver on something we promised. So late, but
Well, hang on.
We'll deliver.
We have many things that we haven't delivered that have been spoken over this podcast that we need to. One of those things is now Couchy is here. We need to do a side-by-side comparison on our rifles.
True.
That's something that I'm looking forward to, and Couchy has got a muzzle brake on his rifle.
True. I mean, we shouldn't speak ill of the dead, but Ryan did promise a lot of stuff that we haven't done. So
Let's do it.
let's start doing some of it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Love you, tall bastard. All right.
We
what
do
else?
miss Ryan.
We do. I mean, it's
Yeah.
going to be different.
Almost making him sound like he really is dead.
All right. He's not dead. Let's clarify. He's not dead. He's gone in another direction.
Yeah.
I think that's what they say in showbiz.
No,
When you don't make the audition, like you don't get picked, they say we've gone another direction.
Well, look, his business is taking off and doing well, and it's a time thing, and well, I respect that.
Well, we both know that businesses take time, so
They do.
time involved. So
They
yeah.
do.
We're still mates, so for all of you out there, there's not been a falling out. We're still all mates. We all still hang out. We all still go to dinners and hang shit on each other. So you can't just leave and expect us to not talk about him. You're out there somewhere, Ryan. Hello.
Is it you I'm looking for?
Don't you sing. Like he's gone. He's gone now. No, we don't have to sing.
This is true.
Oh, fucking hell. Anyway, so something else that's new to season 5 is we're on TikTok. Just joined.
The
Yes.
Chinese now know about us.
Yep. And it's the same. I'm assuming it's the same name.
Yes,
Cinema Podcast.
The same name as Instagram. So check it out, guys. Be good to have everyone come across and
Yeah, everyone
Follow.
who follows us on Instagram, jump over to TikTok. Let's get that happening. Then we can do some live videos
yes.
on TikTok.
Oh, they will enjoy our live pub dinner videos that we do.
Just live everything, really.
That's
Whole live stream the shit out of everything.
yeah. I'm still worried about TikTok.
Because what?
Well, this is actually something I learnt in our break, and that's Australia is concerned as a whole. I guess we're talking about in the legal sense of TikTok in Australia and China using it as like an information resource. And let's face it, all the social media do it. That's fine. But obviously with the growing tensions around the world and things like that, there was someone in Parliament, I can't remember who it was, actually proposed to ban TikTok in Australia. This is not doing any this is not helping our cause to jump onto TikTok.
Okay,
but,
enjoy us on TikTok while it lasts,
yeah.
if you can.
Yeah, I think it'd be sort of stupid to sort of think that TikTok will be the only one that's saving your data.
Yeah, but it's a fact of where they are in the current climate.
China.
You know,
There's obviously more sort
China.
of reasons I'd use it against you.
Yeah, they're not going to worry about
Instagram,
small
Facebook.
people that make a podcast, but at the end of the day, information's king, and if you can gather information on a society as a whole, well, you know how the society generally thinks and operates, and you can use that as
Gather
I don't know.
patterns.
Yeah.
Oh, well, let's not give away any state secrets on TikTok. We should be all right. Let's throw a few furfies in there for them as well.
Yes.
Caleb has a big dick. That's a big dick.
Yeah, okay. Well, I think at some point in the night we better get to know Couchy a little bit better for those who don't know him. So we'll get to that at some point. We'll run through the normal 10 questions we ask our guests. Then we can benchmark our new hosts against everyone else we've had on here. We've done it to ourselves as well. We've gone through the 10 questions. So let's get to know the man. But what else has been new in our break? And I think something we should probably talk about is these bloody pants that you've bought.
Yes.
Which
All right.
we've spoken about for, I can't even think how long. So what have you got? Tell us through. Tell us what you've got.
Yeah, look, I was rolling Numa gear and like my old army clothes for hunting, and I actually ended up ditching the Numa gear. Not ditching it, the pants more so. That was simply because there was a few things that sort of ended up coming wrong with them. They have like this grid on the knees that's almost like an iron-on sticker, and they came off, and there was a few problems with them. They were good pants in the fact of they were waterproof and all the rest of it and quite durable. But anyway, the colour wasn't quite right, and that's fine.
I'm not hearing the good things.
So,
waterproof.
I reckon with your Numa, like I think me and Caleb both pointed that out when you were hanging out at Target, I think it was.
Yeah.
And it blended in quite well. At least it was to desert environment.
Yeah,
True.
Yeah, look, their colour is outstanding for an Australian climate. To be honest, they've got a lot of yellow in their colour, and obviously in summer in South Australia, you know, it's very yellow. So they did work, but the quality was just not quite there. So I ended up falling back to my old army cams, and they were multi cams that I actually wore in Afghanistan in 2013. And with that, army clothes are not designed to keep you dry. They're designed to
Make you miserable.
be functional, as in stretch-wise, and that's about it. they're,
Do they actually stretch?
And to hold all
Well,
heat in.
they have a gusset design, which is something I looked at when I was researching these new pants. They have a gusset design in the crutch. Now, before the whole like four-way stretch material come along, this is a good thing, because obviously range of movement. Where do most tears happen in pants? On your butt or your crack? You know, in your crotch. So, and it's like this gusset on the army pants is like this proprietary four-way stretch tech. Anyway, I just kept coming back to them, but the issue was walking through a field with long grass with a dew on it. My pants just got wet, and I'm quite comfortable with being wet to a certain degree after, you know. But as I'm getting older, I'm sort of, you know, I do want a little bit more, you know, maybe comfort and and things, but that's okay. Anyway, so I jumped online, and my first thought was, let's go to Hunter's Element, because every motherfucker goes to Hunter's Element in Australia.
No, but I don't think everyone does. They're just
majority.
readily available, and they fucking work.
They are.
They work.
They are. And I was like, look, in my research, they recycle bottles in their fabric. I think the pants actually have 40-something bottles recycled into their fabric.
Correct.
Anyway, I was humming and ahhing about this. I'm like, I don't know if I like that idea. I like synthetic, and I get that.
You don't like saving the environment.
You don't like going green.
Nah, man. Look, yes, save the whales and shit. But I just didn't know if I trusted it. Although both of you run Hunter's Element.
We both wear Hunter's Element spur pants.
Yeah.
Which is sort of the all year round
Yeah.
option. They're not insulated. So if you want a warm pant in winter, they're not insulated, so they won't keep you warm. But I just wear thermals underneath them in winter, and it's quite warm.
good.
And they work pretty good and they're light. So that's what I like about
And
them
that's
as well, yeah.
that's the thing. They are light and they are quiet, which we'll come back to that in a second. Anyway, so I'm planning this hunt with Steve, going to the high country. We're going right in. So and during the snow, so I'm like, okay, look, I want something that's going to be a little bit more waterproof than the current gear that I'm running. So I looked at quite a few brands, and Steve got me onto. There's a couple mountaineering pants that a lot of like the ultra lightweight hunters use in the States.
Oh yeah.
And I looked at them and I'm like, yeah, okay, they're cool. Yeah. I ended up coming back to Couchy. And they're not an ultralight pant, but they're a mountaineering pant. And their attack pant is sort of a bit of a multi-purpose pant. They're a bit heavier, a little bit warmer, which I don't mind because they still have the zips down the side of the legs to allow airflow to come in. And I was like, yeah, okay, let's take a chance. In my research, everyone was saying the sizing's whack. And I'm like, okay. So I looked at their sizing guide and I'm like, all right. So if I measure myself properly and then just use the measurements that I've got and order the pants, I'll take a chance and, hopefully it works out. Anyway, measured myself, cool, put them in, got the pants a few weeks later, put them on, and they're perfect. I'm like, damn.
It's because you measured yourself.
But this is what I don't understand. Do people, because there's a lot of people online saying that Couchy's sizes are whack. And I'm like, well, did you use the sizing guide and then did you measure yourself?
No, people don't do that,
think
man.
a
They
lot
just go, I'm a large normally. I'm going to order a large pant. And then they're like, fucked.
A lot
You
of
can't,
issues
you can't
are
do
used
that in Australia. Because, if you're buying internationally, man, and we don't have really anywhere in Australia that stocks specific hunting and, we've got the Kathmandu and the...
We've got no one in South Australia anyway.
We've got no one really that is orientated towards hunting and like real backcountry stuff in Australia. And so you're taking a poke. Every time you jump online, you're taking a poke. And you're paying a couple $100 a pants. Why wouldn't you measure yourself?
Always. If I'm buying anything online, I always triple measure.
Yeah.
Even though I fucking know how big my feet are and waist and all that stuff, I still measure again.
Yeah, exactly. Just to be sure.
Just to be sure.
Except when I bought my Hunter's Element pants, it was when my pants blew out in Vic. And we just went to, where was it? Castor?
We're near Colac. I
Colac,
reckon.
that's what it was, yeah. Walked into the hunting shop and I didn't even try them on, I don't think. I think I just halfway around my neck and that's your waist.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
That works for
if
me
they
anyway.
fit around your neck, they fit around your waist.
It's halfway folded
Half,
like normal.
yeah.
You fit around your neck, you're supposed to be waist.
Oh,
is
because
double
my
your neck.
forearm's my dick, so that sort of apply. No, I don't fuck.
You have tiny forearms. Man.
Yeah, it was just on a whim, really. I just needed something to wear.
Yeah.
So there was no forethought into that at all.
Why didn't you try them on? I don't understand that. You were in the damn shop.
You guys were waiting in the car.
Yeah, it was
and
under
we were
pressure.
moving on, and I was just trying to get in there.
Peer pressure. Peer pressure. And he was the idiot who bought the pants that blew out from Wish.
Basically.
yeah.
Don't buy anything
They
else.
looked all right, but just they were
No,
terrible.
they were just 2 sizes too small as well. It was almost painful to wear them just around the waist. I had them unbuckled a lot of the time.
Yeah.
With a belt.
That's why I gave
Oh my God.
that's why I gave Ryan my
use what you
Pentagon pants that I had, because by the normal sizing they should have fit me, but because they didn't stretch,
Yeah.
they were just so tight. So as soon as I went to squat, it was just like
Yeah, but you have
compression.
ungodly fucking large calves and quads.
I mean, not ungodly. They're quite
Yeah, for your
godly.
size, they're just ridiculous.
They are not standard.
They're not normal.
Is that all? It's not standard, or is it?
No, that's where all his height went to, mate. It was in his legs.
All
not
the
his dick.
growth is below my waist. All right, it's just how it is. Okay.
Anyway, I got these pants, these Couchy pants, got them delivered. They fit perfectly, and I'm like, yeah, sick. Well, last Sunday, yesterday, I went out for a bit of a hike and pack march with Steve, just training for this Vic trip. Wore them, and damn, they are comfortable. Oh my God.
Just back up. How long do they take to get to you? Because
Okay, so this is two things.
postage is shit at the moment.
One, the price, and two, it's about 3 weeks to get, just under 3 weeks to get to me.
From the US, that's good.
But out of the US, it's like 4 days. But then they sit in Sydney for like fucking 2 weeks, mate.
It's because they got to make sure there's not drugs in the
customs
bottles.
Or something. But anyway, I actually did not buy them through the Australian website. I bought them through the US website. And in my mind, I'm sitting there going, I'll just see if there is a price difference buying them through the States, because the States had a sale on as well. Anyway, so I bought them at $176.
Australian or US?
No, wait.
No, because I know what's coming.
No, wait. And then it went, and then I clicked next, and then like it added the $15 of shipping on, and then I clicked next, and it was still $176. So I'm like, okay, cool. Bought them. A couple of days later, I then went and bought the Couchy down puffy that they've got, which I'm still waiting on. And then a few days after that, I'm sitting there going, I'll just check my bank account. I checked my bank account because I was sitting there going, it's definitely converted it to Australian, so I'll just check.
Pre-purchase?
And no, it didn't. I got my pants for $190 posted, and I got my down jacket.
That is not the right
That's
rate.
not converted.
No, it's not converted. They didn't convert it. But the money's gone out of my account, Australian, $190. Wait for it.
Hang on, you said before. Hang on, you said $176 was the pants. Then you went
US.
to purchase them. It was still 176.
Yeah.
So free postage.
No, plus 15.
Oh, plus 15.
$15.
So 191.
Supposedly American, yeah.
$190. And so, and the thing that got me to like check was because I spent so much on the jacket, right? And I checked on the jacket, and the price on the jacket was $380 with postage, right? Buying it in Australia is like $400 and something, almost $500, and it was still, they hadn't converted it. I still only paid the $380.
I'd say the website converted it automatically.
Well, that's what I thought, because it said processing tax and something else when it went to do it, and it came up with the same price. So I was like, it's done it when I bought the pants. But I was only curious when I bought the jacket, because it was so much, a lot of money. Obviously, that's a lot of money to part for a jacket. So I double checked it on my account, and I was like, okay, sick. I'm like $100 in the clear.
Fair enough. So
That works out.
I mean, you've spent more on your pants than us, though.
How much for your pants?
How much I paid?
You're about 180, because I just bought dad some.
Well, mine were a gift.
I know
so
they're
didn't
all-
spend anything technically, but I think they're 189 without postage.
Oh, $2, and they're a lesser quality pant.
I wouldn't say lesser quality. We'll find out in time.
We will.
I mean, ours are 2 years old. Yeah, because you bought yours first, then I bought mine not long
like
after.
straight after.
Because I was pretty much like filling you up as soon as you bought them to like, did
I
stretches
wasn't going
like
to say
this?
no.
Didn't you spoon that trip?
Nah, that was Meningi.
No, I'm pretty sure he spooned in.
Oh, we probably spooned every trip, but like the
No, you woke up.
spoonage-
Caleb woke up with your face
Nah,
in
that-
his
No,
crotch.
no, no,
that was-
no. We
that was
we
normal.
spoon in the old ways.
No.
That was the time that he bought the
That was in the
pants.
Darling.
Yeah, that was the time we bought the pants. It was in the old ways.
We're thinking of different times.
No, we are.
We've spooned many times.
Okay, there's been multiple spoonings. Actually, you're right. We did spoon a Meningi.
Thank you. Yes. and
Anyway, that was a really
it
long.
was more of a reverse spoon.
Anyway, the point is we spooned.
Yes.
And those pants are now 2 or 3 years old. Two? 2 years old.
Mhm.
Mine are in mint condition
Wait,
still.
were they pre-podcast?
No, he's used them like once.
Pre-podcast.
Pre-podcast, yes.
Used them
Oh,
once.
twice.
I've used them a lot, and I pretty much live in the hat. So
But I can recommend. Look, we've actually both got them on the couch. We've got Caleb's pants and my pants on the couch for a bit of show and tell between the three of us.
we were wearing them previously, so now we're all sitting in our jocks.
Do we do a sound test?
Can we? Can we?
can
Because
do a sound test.
he's hesitant.
He doesn't want his Kiwis to lose. That's the issue.
Silence is a big thing for Josh when it comes to hunting.
No, look, Look, this is something that I am a little bit sort of concerned about, which weren't a drama yesterday when I was hiking, and that's the noise. But the pants are a lot more waterproof than your Hunter's Element, but they are a little bit noisy.
All right, let's do the sound test.
This is Hunter's Element.
This is Hunter's Element. That's
really
the sound of your
aggressive.
knuckles rubbing together.
That's really
It's literally your knuckles.
He's hitting the mic
Rub-
with his hands. Yes. There you go.
All right. Now do your Couchy.
Oh, I don't get actually.
All right, he's
rub 'em.
about a foot further away from the mic.
No, I'm gonna. You're hindering yourself here, and you're rubbing the actual belt loop.
Yeah, no.
So
rub some ass cheeks together.
I want this to be.
Yeah, that's way louder. It sounds like a.
Sounds like almost a fucking deer call.
It sounds like a DJ.
Yes.
Yeah, look, they are a little bit louder.
Okay, but they're slightly louder, but they are a thicker pant. Feature wise, we've got the Hunter's Element pants are the pockets are quite a lot deeper, but your pockets have like a little cover over them, and you've got a pocket inside a pocket.
Yes, you do.
You've got an inception pocket.
I do like the protection over the zips.
Yours aren't blouseable, correct?
No, so there's one thing about being short, and that's like every pants that you buy, you've got to get them taken up. And I will do this on. So I got the Verdi cam for Couchy, and I'll buy another set of just plain like Cody tan pants, and I won't blouse them. But the ones that the cam ones I've got, I will take them up, and when I'm at the seamstress, I'll get them to put in a like a stretchy cord.
Weekly visit. To the seamstress.
Yeah, just so I can blouse them, because there's something that I'm a pretty big, and it's proven in the pudding. You both have been stung by leeches on your legs, and I haven't, because I blouse my pants. That's something that I think you could do, but they are an athletic fit style pant, and they are obviously, I think they're trying to hit both markets, like a very sort of like neat cut pant as well, so you can wear them just in your everyday life.
I mean, I've never been leached whilst wearing Hunter's Element. I didn't have blouseable pants. Not that the Hunter's Element are blouseable, but they have snap buttons, so you can actually have them tight on your boot.
Yeah.
So
They're not as blouseable as I would like them, to be honest.
No, to be honest. But other than that, the features are fairly similar. Like there's your ventilation zips on the side. You've got back pockets, like your normal pockets, your normal hip pocket, sort of your thigh pockets. It's all fairly similar. Like it's a four-way stretch material.
It is. They're both like, they both look like they have the same movement capacity. One thing I do want to see is how waterproof your pants are compared to these, because you can feel it in the material.
So mine are DWR, which I forget what it fucking stands for. Keep talking while I find
But
it.
one thing I noticed when you posted the photo of, I think it was just the website photo of what you bought, was not a fan of the way they looked in picture.
No, that was just in our private messages, man.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
But what camo are they?
Verdi.
So they do look a lot better in person. So if anyone's actually looking at it and they're not sure, that's something that's probably to take into account.
There you go. Okay, so DWR, which is what my pants are, the Hunter's Element Spur pants. DWR stands for Durable Water Repellent, which is a coating basically over the material. And once that breaks down, then your pants are going to get waterlogged.
Yeah.
So that coating will break down over time.
You'd be able to reapply it.
So they're water repellent. They're not waterproof.
Yeah, and that you're right, Shannon. That like you could reapply a water like epoxy or whatever spray on there, like on top.
Shannon is Couchy, just so people know. Like we haven't added a fourth person to the fucking podcast.
But that's actually something that a lot of people don't know, is there is actually a correct way to wash your hunting clothes as well.
Do you wish to elaborate on this point?
No, I don't, because I haven't never done it.
Is it something like bicarb instead of
I
liquids, because they put UV into the fabric? They UV brighten.
The military pants, they used to put in a chemical that cut down your thermal signature.
Yeah.
but that could get washed out. You wash your pants once, and that's pretty much dissolves that.
And starch
that protection.
destroyed it as well.
Yeah, it did. But it's, I guess, similar concept here. You know, you've got to wash them cold, delicate, and no soaps. And I think there is a better way or a proper way to do it, but that's what I'd do: cold, delicate, no soap.
But you wouldn't.
No, I've never done it
I've never done it
because I just throw them in the clothes in the laundry.
I'll put them in the same fucking wash cycle as the rest of my clothes, even if they got blood all over
Yeah.
them. And then I don't use a particularly like fragrant wash powder.
No, but look, this is something actually I can smell when we're out hunting. Everyone's like freshly washed clothes. I can smell that. This is something I'll bring up. I used to use a bit of no scent spray that worked exceedingly well, man. Yeah. And I'd just spray my pants with it, so I could wash them in my normal cycle. But then I'd just spray my pants and my underarm, like under my arms. Crutch.
Was that before a hunt or before the pubs?
Just before you went out, man. And that, I have to admit, that no scent stuff actually works very, very well.
It does. I'm lucky. I'm not a particularly smelly person.
No, but even if you're using like your same laundry detergent that you're using like in your everyday clothes, I personally can still smell it, especially when we're out bush and and you get that like wind coming to your face and you're like, you're upwind and you're like,
you compliment me regularly. You're like, Caleb, you smell lovely. You smell like a freshly washed blouse.
Diaper.
Well, that's something I guess we could put to the listeners is if they have any sort of regime or anything like that with washing their hunting equipment or clothing or whatever.
Yeah, I guess so. Like, do you take any extra precautions or do you just wash it with everything else and cheers, boys?
Cheers. I actually have a friend Dwayne, and hopefully he'll come on one day, but on the podcast.
On the podcast, just to specify.
He told me, when you're out there, don't worry about no scent. If you're that worried about your scent, just grab some gum leaves and mash them up in your hands and then just spread it around your body.
Like eucalyptus.
Yeah.
It's probably not a bad way of doing it.
Well, true. You just blend it with your environment.
Yeah. Instead of paying the $12 for a bottle of no scent, but hey, no scent worked well when we were pig hunting. So, yeah.
Horses for courses. Do what works. Send in your tips and tricks if you want to share them with us. We'll happily read them and learn.
Caleb loves tips.
And you love turning tricks. All right, well, we've crapped on a bit. Something else we should probably mention is the fact that we've got some cleaning mats available to purchase. There's still a few left. So the last few weeks, while we've been on our break, the cleaning mats have been launched in conjunction with High Caliber Cleaning Supplies. A great mate, Rossi, over there. And, they're pretty sick. So jump online, go to highcaliber.com.au, grab yourself a cleaning mat. There are still a few left. We'll probably do another run once these ones disappear. And for all you pelicans out there who haven't been using the promo code, fucking use it. Use the promo code Send It Mate when you buy anything off High Caliber and you'll get 10% off.
Yeah.
Like,
and it supports the channel as well.
And
so
that helps support us as well. So please use it.
Yeah, look, if you're buying anything, please, guys, that'll support us and support Rossi as well. And we'll continue to be able to dribble verbal diarrhea in your ears.
Correct. We've had a lot of people say, oh, yeah, I bought a mat or I bought this and that off High Caliber. And they're like, oh, cool. Like, did you use the promo code? And they're like, oh, no, I forgot. So
yeah. Thanks, Hayden.
You're doing yourself a mischief. You're missing out on 10% off. So get on there and
look after the cents and the dollars will take care of themselves. That's what my grandma used to say, actually.
It's wise words.
Bro, she survived the Great Depression.
Cool story. All right, well, we should probably get people up to speed with our mate Couchy, and who is the new host on Send It Mate podcast. So
he is, not a guest.
People are probably like, who the fuck is this bloke? So let's get to know him. Where are you actually from, Couchy?
It's a hard question to answer, really. Obviously now I'm Adelaide, South Australia.
Earth,
yes. Family's all from Horsham, Victoria. But I was born in Warwick-Nabil, Victoria. I only lived there for about 6 months and then moved to Alum near Japarut. So that's all in the Mallee, Victoria, Western Victoria.
The desert.
Grew up that's where I grew up a lot of time on the farm. So old man used to look after sheep and just sort of try and sort of build that, but we're just renting and leasing the property at the time. Then moved to Yarpeat after that when Dad started truck driving more and just chasing work.
He's a bloody Victorian.
Yes.
Fucking.
You're a Mexican.
Let's just call it a spade. He's a fucking Vic.
Except you all want to go there when you want to go hunting.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, all right. fair
We'll
point.
see how long that lasts with the greens, mate.
so yeah, sort of grew up a lot in the country, Victoria, until I joined the army. And that was in 2009.
Yeah, wow.
So yeah,
09 you joined.
09.
Ah.
Yes. Probably a few more numbers after you, PM Keys, but but yeah. So and that brought me to Adelaide eventually in 2011.
So you did basic, did a bit of stuff for a couple of years. once
Yeah.
you
So
joined.
just Wagga Wagga for 4 months, I'm pretty sure. Then across to Singleton, New South Wales for 6 months, maybe a bit more, and then crossed to Darwin, where the battalion 7RAR was at the time. I did a year there before we moved down to Adelaide as a battalion.
Was that where you met Josh? In Darwin? Or was it in
Adelaide.
It was Adelaide.
Because he was 5 when I was 7 in Darwin.
How did you enjoy the army?
I wish we didn't, like, being in Darwin, I was wanting to move to Adelaide.
Yeah.
But once we moved to Adelaide, I wish we stayed at Darwin. So
What was the difference? Is it a bit looser in Darwin or
it was
what? Just a bit of
it was
vibe?
just, yeah, a lot more chilled out environment, I guess you could say. The old sort of traditions were still there, like your sort of occasional fight nights. It probably wasn't so popular when I come in, but there was still a couple. Your boozer parades on the Thursdays were good fun. Yeah, so I don't know, just the work
The
environment.
army does not have drinking culture. Thank you very much, Shane.
Never. There's no
Never.
encouragement whatsoever.
Yes. You are not forced to stay at the boozer.
But
So what I'm hearing is the social events in Darwin were better than Adelaide.
yeah, they were. Did
Oh,
way
because
too
you
much.
can get away with
more of it.
just... You can, oh,
Just a looser culture in Darwin.
And I think
it's ridiculous.
Once we come down to Adelaide, the unit and the buildings and all that were just brand new. So there was that sort of stigma to try and keep them the best we could. And that just ruined all the fun. Sports days got canned. Bruiser parades got canned because sports days got canned. And just all those sort of traditions and...
You were sharing the space with the Air Force
Yeah.
too, so...
But then the Air Force still did heaps.
Yeah, but I don't think that like we phased them when we moved in. But I think that you're right. There was this stigma that
Yeah, we wanted to do
you've
better.
got to uphold to some fucking poppycock.
What were sports days? Like,
Like just your football or rugby. So you pretty much do your...
Blood Week.
Yeah, I'm going to say PE for the lack of word.
PT.
PT, that's the one. In the morning.
Couple letters to go.
So you did your PT in the morning, and then you probably sort of dicked around for probably an hour or two, and then you go to your sports. So whatever you wanted to do, like the AFL rugby, pretty sure that was it.
it's a diverse.
That was pretty
sports.
much.
Yeah.
What else was there? Was it just those two?
Yeah.
That's
No
all I cared
netball, no
about.
soccer.
I think there was touch.
Oh, so it might have been soccer. Maybe.
Maybe. No, I
can't remember.
I think there was definitely touch. And then you could play league, and then you could play AFL.
Anyway, being Victorian, all I cared about was AFL. So, yeah, you'd play that until about, well, you'd have a game. So that's an hour and a half. So that'll take you just past lunch, probably 2 o'clock. And then you'd cut away to your boozer parade.
Okay, I was thinking sports days like school sports days. You got like blue team, red team, green team,
Come on.
fucking
No, not around
running races and all that sort
It
of
was
shit.
inter-unit.
It was more team A, team B
unit
kind of thing. But, yeah.
Like the grunts would typically play the Pogues in Blood Week, which was like a brigade-wide sort of sports week.
Yeah, that was more of a round robin style.
Yeah, and you basically just played off and then had like the main event. And because there was 2 infantry units in Darwin, and the Pogues were Pogues, so they didn't win. So it was all like the main event was always between 5 and 7.
Yeah.
Were you there when 5 and 7 got in that huge biff, man? Playing footy?
I think I was just after because I heard about it.
Oh, bro. it was like everyone from the bleachers ran down and then just boxed on, and everyone was just fighting, mate. I'm pretty sure that, like, I remember looking across and seeing the RSM at the 7 whacking cunts with his
they'll get
paste
amongst
stick.
it. That was a good thing about it. And everything turned political once we come down to the SA.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't want to look wrong in the public eye because I guess Darwin probably caused.
Oh, we were already wrong in the public eye.
But yeah, so sort of, I don't know, just put a different feel to the army.
But Seven's dissolved quite well into the assimilation into Adelaide's population, actually. Like Darwin, you could walk down on like Friday, Saturday night in Darwin, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah, for me, it was more Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and the break days in between.
But you could go into like any pub in Darwin, and especially as a grunt, like you just know everyone there, so you could just run a fucking muck.
No one's going to do anything because they know
someone's
that
got your back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you'd hope they have your back anyway.
I used to, in Darwin, like I'd order a drink. So you're at the bar. Right, you got to take a piss.
Oh, again with this?
So
I never did that.
yeah,
You've told this story.
you got to you buy your drink and you piss on the bar. Oh, and you get away with it, man. No one would look twice at you. You'd be like, yeah, fuck off.
I was in monsoons, I think. And one of the guys just took a piss at the table outside, sitting there with the guys.
Yeah.
It's just like,
But you can get away with it, man.
I couldn't. Yeah, well, I couldn't comprehend doing that. But
Now, back then, you were probably like, fuck yeah, high fives. That's the problem.
yeah,
I was listening to Tom Segura's podcast the other day, and he was saying a guy was calling out at one of his shows, and then there was like this, like up in the back rows, there was this fucking big kerfuffle or whatever, and afterwards he asked what the fuck was going on, and what it turned out had happened was a guy who was a big fan of him took offense at the guy calling out and ruining the show, so the guy just fucking took a piss on him. But the issue was he wasn't very good with his aim, so he was just fucking pissing on a heap of random people in the crowd.
That takes some balls
it would.
to piss on someone.
Oh, fuck, that was funny.
Yeah, so that brought me to Adelaide in 2011, and Josh come down, met him. I think that's when I really sort of got into my hunting. So I'm not sure if there's any parts that we go through about that in the future, but
Oh, look, we'll punch you.
But yeah, so that sort of got me hooked.
Cool.
Yeah, I have to admit, meeting Shannon, he was like
Couchy.
not a typical AJ. Actually, you're actually very kind, very nice, man.
Thanks, man.
And you've always been that way. To be honest, dude.
Noticed him from across the room.
Hey,
You noticed him from across the room.
nah. Look, like you can sort of get used to the typical mindset of army people, but then Couchy was just a genuine dude, and you're like, and it stands out in a crowd of fucking.
It's getting weird.
Pigs.
I don't know. It sounded like a love story origin.
Nah, man. I'm just saying he's a nice fucking
Locked
bloke.
eyes
Jesus,
across the
man.
room and he,
Fucking hell.
but thank you, man. I appreciate
No, that's nice sentiment from you, Josh. Good on you. It's glad you have emotions.
Yeah.
it. Anyway, where were we at?
Anyway, move on. What's your favourite food, mate?
My favourite go-to is pretty much my whole life has been either lamb chops or shanks. Lamb shanks. It's probably been my go-to. Lamb shanks with mashed potato and peas is great.
Ooh.
Yes.
Good hearty fare.
Usually, well, we didn't really grow up in shanks because I got 4 brothers, but it was the lamb chops from the farm that we grew up on. And I don't know, you hear a lot of the people say they grew up on a certain food, and then when they become an adult, that's the last thing they want to eat.
Yeah, I get it.
But I guess lamb was probably 80% of our diet as a kid, so but I can't get enough of it.
Does that explain your natural athleticism?
It's probably just bred different, Vic.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
You
I'm
guys-
Mexican.
You guys are half an hour behind.
You guys are inbred.
Fucking hell. No, good choice. Lamb goes all right.
But yeah, venison's pretty good too, so I can't get past that.
Oh, look, it trumps it. And you're right about when people grow up on stuff and now you hate it, because I had a shit ton of roux growing up because in the 90s it was fucking dirt cheap and we didn't have a lot of money, family of 6 kids. So we had a lot of roux and
Yeah. We used to have a bit of rabbit actually as kids.
oh yeah.
As
Do you still like rabbit there?
Yeah, rabbit. Or
Yeah,
rabbit.
rabbit's awesome.
I haven't had rabbit the same as when we had kids. Had as kids.
What do kids taste like?
It's just chili. Actually, no, to go with things, it'd probably be quite tender. But anyway, rabbit.
Don't paint a picture of yourself this early on, mate.
My old man used to crumb it and deep fry it, and it was. I don't think I've had that again, but it's. I reckon it was better than chicken. At least that's what I thought as a kid. It was just like just deep fried chicken, but it was lamb. Well, not fucking lamb, rabbit.
Yeah. I can get that, man, because we've all had rabbit deep fried and, it's sort of, you could pass it away for a shitty tasting chicken.
Just a leathery old fucking chook.
I think any meat, or most meat, done right is pretty good, but it's easy.
it's all in the-
easy way to fuck
That's
up.
all you
things
need
like-
to live is meat. Yeah. Fuck everything else off.
Words to live by. You heard it here first from Josh. Couchy, what was your first job, mate?
My first job, technically, was I was filling a trap at the shotgun club when I was mid-teens, I think.
Hey.
Oh,
I used to be sitting in the trap while I was shooting down the line, and I'd sit there and fill the trap in between shots. And you have to keep your arms clear because the thing, if you hit your head, it'll slice your arm off. But yeah, that was good fun, and that sort of paid for my clays and stuff because that's when I sort of first really got into shooting just shotgun. I grew up on shotgun, and I used to shoot a lot of down the line with my brother, who pretty much supplied shells, and then I'd work at the club to supply my clays and shoot fees.
Yeah, that's all right.
good way of doing it.
That's a good gig.
Yeah,
Fucking hell. What age are we talking there?
Mid-teens, he said.
mid-teens, so I reckon about 15, 16, something like that.
Yeah.
And I'd tag along with brother and sort of be involved, and it worked out pretty well, and I got to represent the Wimmera in down the line.
Oh, that's all right.
So, yeah, I think we came to Bordertown for a shoot, pretty sure. I think it was Bordertown.
There's a bit of irony with your brother, isn't there? Because you now own
Which one?
something of your brother's.
Oh, yeah, so that shotgun I used to use was a Beretta 682 trap gun that was owned by him. He bought that when I was probably about 15, I reckon. Mm-hmm. And that's been in the family. My other brother bought it off him without me knowing, and I was pretty pissed off about that because I wanted to get back into it. And then I was pestering him for years to sell it. He didn't want to sell it, and ended up being lucky enough to get a hold of it. So it's sort of been in the family for a while now.
3 generations.
Yeah, it's probably 20 years now.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah, that's
So
all right.
that thing was made in 1987, a year before I was born.
That's a good year.
Yes.
Very good years when
Yeah.
So and it's
Josh and I were born.
still outshoots the pigeons that these guys are shooting at the traps. So
Oh, well, I was about to ask you, how come it didn't help, like all this work experience didn't help you with it fucking clays, mate?
I think you beat me last shoot, and that's probably the first time in a while.
I'll take my win.
I reckon I'll put you on the down the line, and we'll see who goes.
Yeah, that's fine. Last time, if
beat
it's
you this-
anything to judge off your last shot, fuck, mate, I'll hone it in.
What do you mean? Last shot I missed 2 out of 25.
Oh no, with me,
is pretty shit,
your last shot.
Yeah, that was a skeet. Yeah,
No, I have to admit you are very, very fucking wicked good at your shotgun shooting. To be honest, man.
it just comes naturally.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's something that I hate about you, actually.
Oh, pretty much anything.
All sports fucking comes pretty easy.
Anything that requires some hand-eye coordination or skill, Couch is generally pretty good at.
It's getting harder these days, though.
Yeah, good.
I mean, it is. I mean, I beat you last time we were shooting, so I'll take that because I think that's the first time.
Oh no, rifle,
Rifle, not
Yes,
not
you did.
shotgun.
And I was no good on you. I'll give you that. Yes,
I'll take the win.
yes, you beat me. It's been a while since I shot rifles that day, but it's probably the same for you as well, really, for target shoot anyway. Or
Yeah, it'd been a while in between drinks, so
we need to do that more often. I think
We do, and we will start doing
friendly
it more often.
competition's great.
I have to admit, I like it gets a little bit boring shooting with Caleb because, mate, I could blindfold myself and fucking tie my hands behind the back and still shoot better than Caleb. But you actually give me a bit of a run for your money. Caleb's looking like he's dead serious.
You fucking asshole.
All right, I'll elaborate. I guess when we all started hunting together, it was probably I felt like there was a bit of a gap between myself and Josh and Caleb and Ryan early days, but these days I reckon you've come a long way in your rifle shooting for sure. And
For sure. I mean,
obviously, from the last shoot, you've shown yourself that, and everyone else, that you're up in the mix.
because it is a perishable skill, and the more you practice it, the better you get. And I mean, early roads, you obviously both had military experience with fucking
it helps.
rifles. It does help, even just knowing your way around and being more comfortable with it. When I was brand new to it, just holding a gun was new, let alone shooting it and being accurate with it. So,
And then you got everyone watching you do it, and it makes it worse.
Yeah, definitely.
look, I mean, with Josh's level of training that he's had, then like I kind of expect him to be better than me.
Oh, you'd hope so.
You'd hope so.
You've got no expectation, but he does. So when he loses, because he does lose, he has everything to
He's
lose.
shattered, like his world crumbles.
And you can tell that when just the pressure hits and he starts to crumble real quick.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You don't do well under pressure, do you?
No, I do well under pressure, but it's when it comes to
Performance
shooting,
anxiety is called.
It's
He
like
definitely gets it.
it's like your fucking outstanding English.
Obviously talking about Caleb.
Yeah, clearly talking about Caleb. Like, you like Caleb, but you sit there and walk tall and shit like this, and then every little win that I might get when you may write a sentence wrong or something like that, no, I'll notice it and pull you up on about it. It's like, oh yeah, I get the feeling where you're at with shooting.
That's probably a fair comparison, actually.
Yeah.
You got to make
But-
the most of those little wins.
But you Couchy, actually, there's no doubt about it, to be honest. You keep me on my toes when it comes to shooting.
And we'll have to do a lot more shooting. And
Well, you did some on the weekend.
Yeah,
Just
so I
gone,
did.
didn't you?
I did,
out of the range. What'd you get up to?
I was lucky enough for Jacob to invite me through to the Monado shooting complex. They had an open day for visitors. So he's been offering, I think, all of us for ages now. And I've always been busy on those weekends and never been able to make it. So I decided to take my 308 out there with me. Didn't have many rounds, so I pretty much shot all them. I only had like 25. But
So you have no rounds to hunt now.
I got 2.
That's all you need.
So, and then Jacob was kind enough to let me use his 6mm BR. A couple of others, I forget what they were. I think the 7mm.
708, yep.
Yeah, I had, I think, 2 rounds of that. Mm-hmm. But his 6mm, man, is just flat and it's easy to shoot.
The BR.
Yeah, it's the lightest trigger I've probably used. Oh, maybe 22-250 was pretty light.
I don't know. Your 22 Magnum was pretty light.
Oh, yeah.
Slam fire.
Yeah, that was too light. But yeah, that thing was awesome. It was myself, Jacob, and then his missus was there as well. And we were using the 6mm at 500 meters, hitting a 2.5-inch gong.
Yeah, wow.
And we all hit 2 out of 3. Well, Jacob hit 2 and stopped shooting.
Yeah.
But it was more effortless. Like it was just, you felt like you were on, and then the trigger, you didn't even see crosshair move. I rated it.
Was that in a ticker chassis? Ticker action, sorry?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
You can't remember?
No, I didn't go into the details of that.
Oh, fuck.
There was a lot going on there because I had a 22 shoot going on as well. That was pretty cool to watch, and everyone's setups were pretty Gucci. So there was a fair bit of money on the range there, but they were all having fun, just having a crack. And
Did you have to shoot in between them?
Nah, it was they were shooting in conjunction.
Oh, right.
So it was surprisingly the complex there. It's the first time I've been, and I'm going to say it's the best range I've been to. That place is mint.
Yeah, it's
And-
well maintained.
Everyone there seems pretty chilled, easy to get along with. They're willing to help you. No one sort of. Then again, there's no one that deserved it, but there's no one sort of serious on just little things. They'll sort of keep an eye on you and check you.
There's no one being a Karen.
No,
There's no outright Karens.
From what I'd seen, there's no Karens. And the range set up, I only saw a third of what they have. They've got sort of an undercover 100 to 200 meter sort of range as well.
Yep.
And then you got the pistol range to the right of that. But it was good. I would go back.
What sort of 22 setups were you seeing?
Again, like the 22, what you're getting for the old man and the MDT chassis and all that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what action and barrel they had in them. I didn't get that close to them.
Probably
but there was a
voodoo.
fair few of them getting about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, 22's come fucking light years, eh? Like, ironically, I've been, because Dad's looking at so we just got Dad at 22 and doing a bit of research for it. Like, I just said, this is your budget, you know, like, work within it. And let's face it, the 457 CZ is good for the money, like, outstanding for the money. But watching a few videos, man, and like Luja barrels, and I think it's pronounced Luja. I can't quite remember. But some of the barrels that they're fucking producing for the 22s, the tolerances are fucking outstanding.
It's become a big game.
Yeah, and then mixed in a voodoo action and like using lap center X or whatever. Man, dudes are fucking doing some freakishly long range shooting. Like, I'm talking like 400 meters with a 22 consistent. There's even one guy that was shooting at a K with a 22 that I watched the other day on YouTube, and I wouldn't say consistent, but he was hitting the target.
A K's a long way.
That's obscene for a 22. Regardless.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I don't even know how that's possible.
It'd have to
in
be
my
no
head.
wind.
You'd have to be fucking holding over crazy, like, because there's no way any scope's dialing that far.
I don't know.
It depends on how you set up your mount. Like, if your rail is actually, you could have it like 60 MOA.
I suppose. Yeah.
If you're got a dedicated long range 22, you could probably pick up something that's going to.
Yeah, and let's face it, in the States, you'd be able to manufacture something with like a good base.
Everything is
Right now.
custom these days and just gets made to how you want it.
Yeah.
And you'd be setting it up specifically to shoot stuff at a K.
Yeah, exactly.
It'd be useless for anything else.
Oh, yeah.
See it,
Yeah.
Like,
see it, but
you're not going to take
it.
you're not going to take a rabbit hunting, are you?
You scope over bore at 50 metres would be fucking stupid, mate. Like, you'd miss everything.
But these guys were good fun to watch. This 22, it made me want to do it actually. So I didn't really pay too much attention to the other stuff when I was shooting. I just knew they were shooting, and then they had this. So there was a hanging target. There was a vertical target that was probably about the size of your hand, and then they had a horizontal bar. It was about probably 2 fingers across. That goes across, and that was solid. And the horizontal target would flip back and forth. So they would 3 rotations of kneeling and on the bench, and they'll take a single shot at the flipper, and then when they hit the flipper, they take a single shot at the crossbar. But if they stuffed up the order and hit the crossbar when they were aiming for the flipper or vice versa, they'd have to chuck a weighted backpack on, just something to hinder them. And it was all sort of a timed event. I think they had like from memory, about a minute 15 to do 4 rotations.
Yeah, that's outstanding, man.
And then if they stuffed the rotation up again, like as in hit the horizontal instead of the flipper or vice versa, it was because they were using rifle bags and rests and all that.
Yeah.
They had this colourful unicorn plush toy, and they'd have to use that as a rear bag. It's just something stupid, I guess, just to sort of bring a bit of fun to it. But it'd also sort of hinder them, and they'd have to use that for the whole event that they were doing.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just sort of looked like these guys are having a bit of fun.
Yeah, that's all right.
And that's what you want.
That's the PRS guys, isn't it, that you were out with? Yeah, that's the thing with the PRS is it is like real world shooting conditions, you know, minus the unicorn fucking rear bag. But, you know, sometimes you might be out, like, you know, walking around with your pack, take a shot.
Well,
you know,
yeah, there's
or-
times you could, to take the shot with the backpack. So,
Very true.
So what else did you get up to at the range, man?
well, after we sort of done, packed up, and sort of worked out that we're going to leave, we decided to do a walkthrough, and that's when just having a look at a few 22s and see what they were sort of gear they were running, and he's sort of catching up with the guys he knew there at the range. And we got to the end, and he was, for the life of me, I can't remember this guy's name. Sorry, mate, I'm shit with names, but he offered Jacob just a shot at his 9mm Glock handgun.
Ooh.
Yes, and I hadn't touched a handgun since 2013, which is the army, and that was the old Browning high power, which I love. But yeah, so Jacob took to that offer and then offered it to me as well through him, and he was happy to do that.
Nice.
And yeah, so we got behind the Glock. He made us load the magazines, and he sort of made sure that we had a general idea of how to use it properly. And then it's one of those moments where I haven't touched it in a while, so I'm just going to go. I'm going to let him go and tell me what he needs to say to me, because obviously I have an understanding, but I'm not going to sort of just say I know how to use it and then fuck something up simple.
Yeah.
So I let him sort of go through his sort of drills and got 10 rounds out of the 9mm, which I felt like I went pretty well. And, well, the first round was flinchy as fuck. But I'll post a video after. I've got a video that Jacob filmed, and I'll post it after this podcast comes out. But that first round was me trying to remember how much recoil a 9mm has. And I know from watching other people that people underestimate it a lot sometimes, and they generally wear the foresight of the pistol to the head. So and that was something.
It's not a fucking 500 Smith and Wesson.
No, it's
man.
not, but it just sort of depends on how much you grip it, I guess. So
I did notice that you were, okay, from a military point of view, you were sort of favouring one side instead of like punching from the centre a little bit from that video.
are you talking about my stance?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So the stance, I knew centre, square shoulders, square feet. But he obviously, to not his sort of, he wanted to be there and oversee how we were going with it. So he was standing right next to us, and there was 2 benches either side of us. There wasn't a whole lot of room. So I just sort of angled myself to give me a bit more room.
Yeah.
So ideally, and I thought of that beforehand, just stand square, but then there just wasn't quite enough room to be comfortable. So yeah, I just shot how I shot.
Yeah. It still looked very fluent.
Yeah, that first round was a bit, when watching back on it, I knew I flinched, but watching back on it, I did see the sort of whole like lift of the head a little bit. You guys can judge that when you see it, but
It's funny though.
I still hit the target.
Because pistols are like obviously it's very difficult to get your pistol license and then keep your pistol license. So none of us have it anymore. So it's years and years and years since shooting. So yeah, I can understand the apprehension, man. And I think a lot of people would. They'd almost feel nervous again. Because
100%.
you're just like, oh shit, it's like a foreign concept. Yeah,
But I loved it. It was good to shoot a handgun again. And if you shot competition and was involved in the community, it wouldn't be that hard to keep your handgun.
yeah, definitely. But you've got to be invested into
Yeah.
it to keep handguns near. You have to be. It's almost it's very difficult to not be all in and have a handgun.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll gladly take it up again and shoot handgun, but that's just time. Like I'd love to do bow as well, but that's just another rabbit hole that I barely have time for shooting.
Yeah,
I don't shoot enough as I want to, so
yeah.
it sort of makes it hard. It's like, do I commit to this as well?
You're about to shoot more, so.
Yes.
That's amazing. I've never shot a handgun, so I'm actually keen to try.
Oh, well, that's because they're semi-automatic.
No, I didn't-
Pistols are, so you're not going to want to shoot them, man.
I thought you'd have shot. I thought you
Not
went to
pistol, no.
No, I swear you were at one of the Christmas things at Brakunga with Josh and I, and you were there as well.
No,
No?
it wasn't me.
No, I don't.
No, I've never shot a handgun. Never.
Ah.
I'm keen to try. So,
are you though?
Despite what Josh says,
Are you though?
I'm keen to try.
Because it might just change your whole way of thinking, and you might crumble.
Well, I don't need one, and I don't want to own one because of all the hoops. But I would like to try one. Josh.
Oh, so you want to jump on the back of someone else that puts the effort in there?
I'll fucking jump on your back in a minute and fucking smack you in the back. What's the biggest caliber of handgun you've shot?
I know exactly what
Question
it is.
for both of you, since you both shot handguns.
I think it's just 9mm. Because I haven't been to the marksman or anything like that in Adelaide.
Yeah, me either.
Where to try different calibers, but so it's just been the army and then that day, really. So it's 9mm for me.
454 Kessel for me, and I did not enjoy a second of it, mate.
Did you wear it?
And I was young. I was like 13.
Did you wear it?
Crikey.
I didn't, but when I put it down, I was like, nah, I'm good. It's surprising because the pistol obviously weighs more, or the revolver in this case. It weighed a lot more than, say, a 9mm. Simply because there's more mass on the gun and things like that to support its caliber. But so you knew it was big, but I was thrown off because the weight. I was like, oh, it's fucking weighty. Have you ever shot like a 400 nitro or anything like that?
No.
They're heavy. They're surprisingly heavier than what you think for the skeleton that they are. I'm talking like double barrel rifles.
Yeah.
They're actually quite heavy. And it was the same for the handgun. It was a lot picking it up. I was like, oh, there's some mass into this. That'll take the recoil down. But yet, on another note of thinking, you're like, it's a big caliber. Like, yeah, it's going to do something.
Mass.
Yeah.
And 13-year-old Josh was like a 9-year-old girl. Sort of.
yeah. Essentially,
So we're here.
girl
Anyway.
that could outshoot you. But look, I was not. Yeah, I was not. It's not something that I'd run out and go buy. If I had my pistol license, it'd be lit 9mm all day.
Just 9mm accessible and the ammo's there.
There's an age-old saying like, you need a 45 to put down something. We'll just say that. Put down something, but you've got, say, like 8 rounds over 13 rounds, like compared to a 9mm. And then you get the guys that are into their 9mm and I'll just shoot the thing another 4 more times and I'm still good. I've got like heaps of rounds.
I think the biggest thing that's going to separate 9mm and 45 and all that is just how you can use it.
There's recoil mitigation in a handgun is definitely, well, with anything, it should be a priority for shooters because especially a handgun, you're thinking quick succession, multiple targets. So to be able to get back onto your sight picture as quick as possible, it's imperative. It's that point of making a better marksman.
So would you say there's more or a higher degree of muscle memory involved in pistol shooting than, say, a rifle?
100%.
Yeah.
Much more. Like heaps more.
Yeah, and there's a lot more
Well,
stability sort of needed.
Yeah, you're holding a counterweight at arm's length. So leverage, man. You're off balance already with a pistol. And you hold a rifle freestanding and you see how much you move. With a pistol, it's not accentuated through the sight picture, but you are doing it without really knowing you're doing it because obviously you've got open sights. Yeah, you're pretty
It's much
wobbly.
more of a feel thing.
I would imagine that would
Yeah,
be accentuated with a red dot on the pistol. I've never
probably.
used one with it, but
Yeah. The only thing with a red dot is, so the red dots these days, even if you don't have a full, like you're not shading the
Sight
scope
picture.
or the sight picture,
Yeah.
right? If you can see the dot,
that's where
that's
it's
it.
hitting.
It'll hit. So even if you have like a half moon crescent or something in your sight picture through the scope or the red dot, if that red dot is on target, that's where you're going to hit.
Yeah, you don't have to center that dot to your sight to shoot straight. It's just wherever the dot's pointing.
And that's why they're very popular because you can go, especially in the States, you're transitioning from a main, getting your secondary out, and you're punching out. You can basically, just as you're punching out, see that red dot and you can start firing if you need to and know that it's going to be an A4 sheet of paper at 15 feet or whatever. Yeah.
Speaking of handgun, I think you posted that about the guy in America. No?
Which
Was it
guy?
Jacob? That hit the 8 out of 10 shots to an active shooter.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it was a civilian that
Yeah.
defended against an active shooter. And was it about 45 yards or
I think
something
it was
like
Jacob, yeah.
8 out of 10 rounds hit the target,
Yeah,
which
that's
is
outstanding.
crazy. And it was only a kid. He was only like 21 or something,
Oh, wow.
or in the low 20s. And that's just incredible. For that distance, it's incredible marksmanship, really.
Yeah. For a handgun, that's...
And in the situation, like just adrenaline would be huge.
Yeah, definitely. This is what makes me question actually the Port, and I'm not trying to pull anything away from the victims, but the Port Arthur massacre. In some of the the reports, police reports and things, that they've actually stated that, or witness accounts was stating that Martin Bryan was getting headshots from the hip out to 25 yards. Or that's a very hard feat to do.
Correct.
Once, let alone multiple times. You know, and it's an testament to this young fella's shooting ability, because that is a difficult shot, a very difficult shot. But that's still down the conspiracy.
Yeah, it's either a testament to his shooting ability, or that's what drives the conspiracy theories to go, well, it wasn't him, or it wasn't just him.
Yes, it's
I guess it's hard to say for sure now that they've locked that down for another 100 years or 50 years, whatever.
Yeah,
Inquisition for
for Port Arthur.
All right, so Couchy,
yes.
if you could trade places with anyone in the world, who would that be?
It's something I've been racking my brain about, and I can't think of an exact person. The part like Stephen Ranella would be probably a good one. As just, I'm guessing there'd be points where it'd just feel like work, but his work seems way better than mine.
He hunts for a job.
Yeah, and fishing and just outdoors and just the access he has and the adventures he has.
I mean,
That's probably something that
it's a good answer, because we'd all love to be paid to hunt.
for sure.
You're getting paid to do what you love doing. So
Stephen Ranella is probably a name that I would say, but it's not necessarily restricting myself to him alone. It's just that sort of lifestyle.
what about just for a day, just so you could do some shit?
Elon, I'd love to be Elon for a day just to see how he works.
I mean, just talk to Ryan, Asperger's. That's
I'm sure Ryan thinks he's Elon, but I don't know. I reckon he's a guy that I'm probably most sort of interested in knowing how he just works on a day to day.
he's full on. Like, he sleeps in the fucking Tesla factory, man. Like he doesn't switch off, I don't reckon.
It'd be hard for him too. Like, and yeah, that'd be the person for just a day. I'd love to experience that.
He's also like, I was listening today actually. He's just like making kids.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, yeah.
I missed that.
So
What's going on?
he's got a thing where like population growth isn't stable. So as we know, you need like 1.6 kids for a population or a society to grow and continue growing. And he thinks it's something that needs to be addressed.
Well, his thing is all the intellectuals, the smart people, aren't breeding enough, right? So lower socioeconomic people
on average
are having a lot of kids. So he's basically saying, quote unquote, well, not a quote at all, actually. I'm paraphrasing. The dumb people are all having a shit ton of kids, but all the smart people are having careers and putting off having kids until they're like in their 40s, and then it's too late.
Yeah, having a controlled family environment.
So he's just trying to put out a heap of smart
That makes
kids.
sense.
So
yeah,
you'll be in that day. You'll probably have to put a kid out in a test tube.
See, this is
There will be a wank involved in that day.
you donating or you just like personally inseminating?
No, he's not. Apparently, he's not actually involved with whoever he's impregnating. He's just all
donating
test
it.
tube babies. Yeah, because he's got the money.
Yeah.
But you got to think as well, though, like the old saying, "Wealth breeds wealth." There's another point to that apart from having money behind you. It's the fact that kids raised in a family or a home where money isn't an issue allows the children to concentrate on other things like schooling.
Oh, it takes away that struggle.
It does, like when we were all kids, it was like we're wearing shoes that are fucking pretty much thongs because they're that worn out, and you just
Well, you miss out.
little things like that, and you watch your parents struggle. So as a kid, kids are intuitive; they can see that, and they start going, okay, well, maybe I shouldn't want this or that, or shouldn't ask for this or that because my parents are struggling, especially when you're sort of, you know, a little bit older than, you know, older than sort of like 7, 8, 9, you know, when you start, you know, getting a little bit older, that thought definitely comes into your mind. Whereas wealthy kids don't have to worry about that, man.
Oh, 100%.
They don't have to at all, you know. And not just that, their time out of school isn't just mundane and sitting in front of a TV. It's actually, you know,
Just getting out, do things, learn.
what's the
More-
fucking
I
word?
don't know. It's more purpose driven. Like then it's
Well,
not.
no, it's you know, they might say on school holidays go to another country on a holiday with their parents because they can afford it, and so they're actually they're learning because they're in another country and they're seeing how another culture works.
Yeah.
So they're already advanced. I mean, most poor children, they wouldn't go overseas until they're until they're an adult and they've got their own money, and they're learning something that a rich person or a wealthy person's child's learnt as a child. So you got to think about the implications of that. And I feel quite strongly about this because that's how I was brought up, very poor, and you know, I didn't concentrate on my schooling. I actually even said to my parents at one stage, I said, because I found out how much it was to go to Trinity College a term, and I said to my parents, fuck that, you need the money, pull me out of school. Well, the money's better spent on everyday living instead of struggling than sending me to Trinity. Now, that is not a very, you know, that doesn't have a lot of forethought into it. But as a child, you're like, in your mind, you're like, oh, making my parents' lives better.
Yeah.
You know?
There's been a few times in my childhood that I remember just like school excursions, going to like Gold Coast or somewhere that's going to cost a lot. And I know earlier on I missed out on those things, not by choice. But then the older I got, you know, you realise how much it does cost. And there's a few times where I just decided I wasn't going to go just because of that factor, because I wasn't paying for it. It was the parents.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, exactly, man.
I guess
yeah,
you limit yourself that way just with experiences and
yeah, definitely. But wealthy children don't have to worry about that at all.
No, it's probably
at all.
yeah.
That is removed from their mindset, which is creating room for them to be in a learning environment and soak it all in properly. You know, and everyone can laugh and say that I'm talking shit, but it's fucking. I've been in that position, man.
yeah.
No, well, it's true. So this was something I was listening to Joe Rogan, I think Andrew Schultz talking about today on Rogan's podcast, was when you have wealth, you have the ability to remove inconvenience from your life. So an inconvenience is having to worry about putting food on the table or, you know, what do you have to pay for this, that, and the other. So 100% if you're poor, like schooling goes by the wayside if you're just struggling to fucking eat a meal.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So
Bloody oath.
yeah, rich kids, they can probably target their time a bit better because their parents have the money to send them off to do whatever. But
It wouldn't be a thought that they have.
no,
It wouldn't cross their mind, really. And if it did, it certainly wouldn't carry any weight because they're not in the situation of being poor.
Yeah, I mean, growing up, I reckon 90% of the arguments my parents had was around money. 90%. It was like it was on a fucking
Broken record, yeah.
always
Fucking
around money.
yeah.
It's the same argument every time. So I was acutely aware of it growing up as a kid that we didn't have a heap of money. But you know what? We
So
may
there's
do.
little things as a child that you also do, that you may do in that sort of environment that may not seem like a big issue, but you might not eat that extra piece of steak or you know, especially if you've got other siblings, you know, you sort of like learn to share and you're sort of like, yep, I know I'm gonna go to bed hungry, but hey, the family as a whole is okay.
Yeah. And on the flip side too, I think that growing up sort of, I wouldn't say poor, but it sort of helps you appreciate those small things where, you know, there's good meals out or going to
definitely.
a venue to eat or
you appreciate
going away for a holiday, stuff like that.
Definitely. Definitely. But at the same time, your learning capability as a child is, I believe, dramatically reduced. Definitely. So, yeah, okay, smart people should breed. There's no doubt about that. But
Yeah, they prioritise their careers typically now over, you know, all right, my primary objective is to procreate and have kids.
Mm.
Now I want a career. Now I want to exercise my intellectual abilities in my career.
Yeah, but I believe Elon is also worried about that. He's sitting there saying that, especially in urban environments, people are less likely to have multiple children or children because they're so career orientated and they've got a lot of distractions and things like that around them. So they're not breeding as much as well, which obviously hinders a species as a whole. Species is probably not the right word, but what do you call it? I don't want to sound racist. Yeah, but a race. Yeah.
Well, it's more of a generation thing, I guess, now. Or I think they were talking, and I know you've listened to the same podcast I would listen to today. It was around high density areas, and if you've got, say, for example, New York, and you're packed onto a subway with thousands of other people shoulder to shoulder, the last thing you're going to be thinking about
is
making more
reproducing.
humans because you're fucking around humans all day long, and you're like, there's too many fucking humans.
But at the same time, that's there's no, once again, forethought in that, and it's a hindrance, really, because once you've passed, if everyone's in that, say if 10 people are in that mindset and they pass and they haven't reproduced, well, there's no one else left to carry on within that number of people, you know?
Yeah.
There you go. So, yep, if you're being Elon for a day, be prepared to jizz in a cup.
I find it funny because he's like about the space rocket, and he watched The Dictator, and in The Dictator, Sacha Baron Cohen was like, "Oh, you got to make the rocket more pointy," and he did that to his rocket, one of his rockets.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, and he actually in his interview, he's like, "Oh, one could argue that it actually makes it worse." In its flight, than it does having a rounded off nose, but it looks like a rocket. That was the whole premise behind it.
That's another part that's sort of drawn me to Elon as well, is because he seems like, although he's a genius and he's sort of separated from the general population in that way, but he also seems like he's more connected to the general population than a lot of other people.
Because he watched movies.
Like he sort of seems a little more down to earth and sort of more, I'm going to say, practical in the way he wants to sort of invent things and the purposes and behind it. So,
well, talking about his bloody, I can't remember what it is, but I think it's a railway system, sort of like the bullet train, hypersonic or something. But he's talking about putting a new railway system somewhere in the States between 500 to 1,000 miles, maybe, or k's long, where people can travel great distances at short speed. So essentially like the bullet train in Japan.
Yeah.
So just between major cities.
Yeah. Well, he did discuss how it wouldn't work over great distances in comparison to flying. But yeah, within those shorter distances, he's like, yeah, it'll cut down obviously time to travel.
The Hyperloop.
That's it.
It's called. Proposed high-speed transportation system for both public and goods transports. There you go.
Nice.
It's actually called a VAC train, atmospheric railway or VAC train. I'm not seeing how does this work? His initial concept incorporated reduced pressure tubes in which pressurized capsules ride on air bearings driven by linear induction motors and actual compressors.
Jesus, could you imagine how much... that'd be insane, man. Like, I believe Japan uses magnets, like opposite magnets, and obviously that, propels the two surfaces that a train's running on, which creates less friction. But instead of using magnets, using air. Magnets would be heavier, but air, you got to think about how many turbines are going to need to push that train, which might be 100 tons more, I don't know.
Yeah.
Up and floating.
It's beyond me, to be honest.
It's still magnets. It's still magnetic propulsion.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
There you go.
Hyperloop systems comprise three essential elements: tubes, pods, and terminals. The tube is a large sealed low-pressure system using a long tunnel. The pod is a coach pressurized at atmospheric pressure that runs substantially free of air resistance or friction inside this tube. using magnetic propulsion. In some cases, augmented by a ducted fan. The terminal handles pod arrivals and departures. No shit.
Yeah.
Okay, wow, we're getting technical. But it's Elon territory here.
Yes.
So.
Fucking trains.
Oh, jeez. All right. Let's move on. Couchy, what's the most dangerous thing you've ever done?
Well, I guess probably I was trying to think about sort of the most dangerous or probably the closest point of like
Death?
probably killing myself. Yes. Probably shooting with Peter. It's probably it's probably up there, or at least Peter driving.
Yeah, that's a common.
Yes.
We have described the incident of you falling off the back of the ute.
That's fucking hilarious, bro.
That fucking hurt. And ran over your foot at the same time, didn't you?
Ran over me and deposited you off the back.
That wasn't very good. I guess I would call it probably the closest point of me probably could have been killed was in the army, actually.
Ooh.
So I was on driver's course for the AS4 armoured carriers, which the 7AR uses.
Okay.
And so you go out there, I think there was probably about 15 people. So there's about 4 cars for that group. And I'm not sure how many were in my car alone, but I think it was about 2 of us in the back, 2 or 3 of us in the back and 1 driving. And then you got the, I don't know, corporal or someone that's qualified that's teaching you, that's in the commander's vehicle, commander's hatch. And so just as standard, we've got to wear a Kevlar helmet while in the vehicle. And before then, I didn't really understand why, or, you know, you sort of, there's a lot of times when you're just not wearing it.
Okay.
And luckily I was at this time, because there's a rear hatch, there's probably about a 1.5, 1/4 hatch that's open.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was sort of half hanging out there, just sort of like just getting fresh air. And the driver that was doing the course, he didn't see a channel that was in front of us. And he hit that at probably about 30K, 40K an hour. And this thing just come to a complete stop. And on the edge of the hatch is just it's a sharp corner of steel. And me standing up, I didn't have any resistance and just my head flew into the corner of that steel. Ooh. And supposedly I knocked myself out for like half an hour. Well, not half an hour, like 30 seconds.
Okay.
Not 30 minutes.
Half a minute.
But yeah, on my Kevlar helmet, it left a gouge.
Ooh.
So to be honest, if I wasn't wearing that helmet, I probably could have, killed myself out of just someone
Scalped yourself.
not seeing a ditch.
That's bro. I've had a friend die very similar, actually, in a carrier accident and all that. So it's possible.
Yeah, it would have. I easily would have scalped me if I survived. So
You would have cracked your skull. There's no doubt about that.
I've
Man.
chipped my skull before, but that doesn't.
Yeah,
That's fine.
you can tell.
Yes.
But wear your helmet.
Yeah, there's been a few times where I've been sort of up north. Used to live at Mutiny for 12 months, which is an old mining town for opal, and cruising along sort of the shafts and the tunnels there. Not that it sort of felt, I wasn't really feeling comfortable with it, but I guess the possibilities of things going wrong could have happened. So that's a few other times as well, and just sort of taking the dog for a walk through the minefields, and not the minefields, the mines, and just on some of the slopes. I remember getting myself on this sort of cutout, and I was on the edge of this hill, and I got about halfway across, and I was just following my dog because he was up in front of me just cruising.
You know they have 4 legs.
Yeah, it was easy for him. It was so easy for him. And he was watching me while I was struggling. And I got about halfway and realising it was a pretty steep angle, and I'm like, if I go there, it was a slide of the angle and a straight drop for probably about 8 meters. And it was that point there, I'm like, well, it's closer to go to where I want to go than it is to turn around and go back. So I ended up going, across this sort of bank that was just all sort of shady. Just it's a mine, so it's not always a solid surface. And I guess if things went wrong there, that could have been pretty bad as well. And I was by myself, so there was no one that knew exactly where I was or what I was doing exactly at the time. So it could have been bad as well. But that's probably the only few things come to
Did
my
you
memory.
like living in Minterby?
I didn't mind it actually because it was good. You could take the rifle for literally a walk from your house. It was just a little town. That's probably, I think the population was only like 30 odd people.
Yeah, wow.
It was a lot of sort of traffic for Aboriginal communities around the area that use the shops, and that's why it was still alive, really. And obviously the miners, but that at that time when I was living there, it was sort of on its sort of tail end of the opal that they were getting out.
Well, I believe they've closed Mutiny down.
Mintiby's been closed probably about 5 years now, I think.
Yeah.
The government took it back and released it back to the Aboriginals. So,
Yeah, right.
yeah, I didn't mind living there. It was good because, yeah, I took the dog for a walk, shoot some rabbits. There's a few dingoes about. I didn't get any of those. Not that I probably should, but yeah, no, it was freedom, I guess. There was no cop in the town. The closest cop was about an hour and a half away, and they never come to town really.
Yeah, wow.
So
Fucking wild west.
it was good. Yeah, I liked it.
How long were you there for?
I was only there for 12 months. And
The obvious question is, why were you there?
I went up there because of my ex. So she got a job with her brother, half brother, and then I moved up with her.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Hindsight, probably shouldn't have, but yes.
Oh, well, 12 months of wild west.
Yeah. So I did 12 months there, and then we got out of Mintaby and went to Couchy. Did 12 months there as well.
Fuck, what an upgrade.
So that was
Whoa.
that was crazy compared to Mintaby.
Did you live underground or above?
Nah, didn't do it underground. It was probably another $100 a week just to live underground.
Yeah, bloody hell.
Just because of, I think it cuts down your electricity and all that for aircon. Because it's about 24 degrees, something like that, like constantly underground. But you have a lot of moisture as well, so you really got to try and get out. There's a few older fellas while I was there that I think passed away because they spent a lot of the time under there in underground houses, and they just didn't get any sun. There was no sort of
fresh air.
Yeah, fresh air.
You know what
all
would
that sort
help?
of shit.
If there was a body of water that moved down that part that created a bit of a green zone that you could then live above ground because it wasn't a fucking desert.
Sort of like,
Sorry.
is it Lake Air?
Are you going to fucking run for parliament with the fucking canal? Like, I mean, we've just had an election, so you're going to go
Vote for Pedro.
2026 canal fucking
Do a better job than you would.
look.
If you could just make a canal work, it would be beneficial.
Ooh.
But
Look, I'll give you a
Just
pipeline.
logistics.
All right, a pipeline.
nah, pipelines kill places, man.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
How so?
It just takes away the water from the surface and puts it in a pipe, and then wildlife can't feed. I'll
No,
drink
like
from
just harness the water where you're talking about a surplus of water. Send it in a pipeline to somewhere else.
it. But what about
Don't worry about your canal bullshit.
But what about
the
the people
whole
in between?
idea is terraforming the land simultaneously as you're moving this water. All right, that's the whole idea. So it makes it livable, man.
the people in between? Just miss
I'm
out.
gonna. That's it. We're going to the fucking middle of SA, and we're going for a hunt. We're gonna go for 10 days,
Hunt
and I'm gonna be like, "How would you like some water now, motherfucker?"
Let's just create a lake in the middle of Australia and pipe the water to the lake. And then
could
just
be an
green
option.
around the lake. That's
That
what
could be an option, but you're only getting that one livable space around the lake. You know,
but we're focusing our efforts now. Instead of trying to create greenery.
and we could build on it.
Why am I fucking extrapolating on your fucked up idea? I don't know. Let's move on. Let's not get back into the canal debate. Couchy, what is the best piece of advice you've ever been given?
I think the best piece of advice was probably my old man back when I was a kid. And I don't know why he said it and why, yeah, it was random. Like, he just come home. This is back when they were involved in Amway.
Oh, Amway.
Jesus,
What a
He's
throwback.
like,
Yes.
toothpaste was
think-
terrible.
yes.
I remember my parents doing that. I just remember lots of bottles of
dishwashing
Pepsi and
and
shit
stuff,
in the
yeah.
house. It was weird.
But he said to me, he goes, never stop dreaming. So that was all that was said to me. This is as I was sort of almost asleep. I remember him coming in and saying something like that and kiss me goodnight. Never stop dreaming. Now, I think from my interpretation of that is that as you become an adult, like as kids, you could see how they view the world and see possibilities and all that. And then as you become an adult, you sort of limit yourself with responsibility than possibility. So I always interpret it as that and sort of always try to, I guess that's a bit of like what Josh does.
Eternal optimism.
Just dreams big and goes for it, which is, I don't hold that against him. Someone's got to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Hey, mate, it served us a good purpose for a few years, didn't it,
yes, it did.
Bunny? So,
I was talking about that today actually with one of the guys at work. Like if things didn't work out the way they did, it could have been all right. But obviously, we're talking about the business.
yeah.
Okay. I thought you were talking about a fucking relationship between you two or something. But anyway.
It's been a long. It's been
No, you did have a business together.
13 years of relationship.
It was very, very good, man, actually. We're doing very, very well until some of our equipment got stolen.
Some, like all of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, and
Literally, apart from a ute.
The main equipment. got stolen.
often I look back and go, we decided to call it quits after that. But often I look back and go, we had an avenue. Obviously, we had insurance. So, we were covered there. But it was the drama of going back through of getting all the equipment and all the rest of it.
And then that insurance didn't cover the trailer either. So it would have just covered the machine itself. And then we would have had to build back with the trailer. And
Definitely.
Like, we were, I guess, picking up with clients. But I guess in my opinion, it wasn't really the ideal sort of, not that anything's ideal, but the ideal sort of job that we were doing at the time. Would have been good to branch out into more earthwork side of things, which I'm doing now. But
it was stressful because we had Telstra to deal with and things like that. When we were digging, which obviously you hit a Telstra line, your insurance covers it, but you're still fucked. Man. But you got to. I like that, man. I actually like that because without a dream, if you aim for the stars and you fall short, well, you're still in the upper atmosphere, aren't you?
still land on the moon.
Oh,
That's the term.
listen to the philosopher.
Aim for the stars, land on the moon.
He's a
If you
philosopher.
aim for the moon, you miss everything.
Yeah. You might hit the sun and burn and die, but hey, at least you die trying.
Did you
Aren't
fucking
all
eat an
stars the
inspirational quotes book or something or what?
No, I really like that, man. I do.
Like, I guess that's probably something that sort of stuck with me a bit more recently with everything that's happened. May he rest in peace. But yeah, so I think that's sort of probably the best advice that I can think of. That's probably a bit broad, but
It's good advice, man. Like,
For sure.
dream. Without dreams, nothing happens.
like
man.
no one achieves anything by limiting themselves. So it's breaking through that barrier.
Your dad was a wise man, man. Oh, I will miss him. We obviously have been hunting for a while with you, Shannon, and we used to do stopovers at your dad's place.
Yeah, it was a good in between.
Yeah. He'd cook us bacon and eggs at 3 a.m.
Yeah, he was pretty accommodating a lot, and I guess that's sort of how he was. He was willing to help out.
Yeah,
good.
definitely, man.
And I'm pretty sure he liked it as much as you guys did as well. So just to catch up and see who I'm shooting with, and probably just didn't trust yous and wanted to meet yous. But yeah.
I like it. That's a good piece of advice, I reckon.
I guess one thing I'll probably want to point out as well about my old man, his last hunting I did with him, and as far as I know, he did himself. He shot a fox at 100 metres through iron sight under spotlight, through the eye.
That's all right.
That's
So
impressive.
it was an old Sterling 22.
That's impressive.
So that's a pretty good way to finish it, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%, man. Nice one.
Just wanted to throw that one in there.
That's a good one.
But yeah.
That is impressive.
All right, Couchy, what's your most treasured possession?
I'm not sure if it's my first. Oh, then again, I want to sell it. I'm not too.
Just burn them and turn them.
I'm not going to just like stick myself to a certain possession and sort of want to hold on to it regardless. I guess if I've got a few things in my old man now that I guess that'd have to be it. Just an old belt and a logbook cover that I made for him.
Mm-hmm.
But apart from that, there's really nothing. Like I'll part with whatever possession I have. I guess growing up with not a lot, you sort of learn to appreciate what you got and not what you want to have, kind of thing.
Yeah.
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 So
Sometimes having materialistic things, man, can get cluttery too.
it's probably a boring answer, but yeah.
Not really, man.
No, it just means you're not materialistic, I guess. So
Memories are worth more than material.
yeah, exactly.
As
Something
long
with
as you can
sentimental value is worth more, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a good answer.
And again, the first buck that I got, that's pretty good too. So not as good as yours, Caleb, but
Yeah. That's
but I'm happy for you to
had
get
to
a
say that.
good buck at the start. That's fine.
You've got more of progression to at least go through.
I don't think you'll enjoy shooting another fellow buck.
No,
No,
not really.
it's sort of,
Nothing else is going to compare, really.
but
Free range, anyway.
that's a stomper.
He is.
Anyway,
There's plenty more species.
Enough about you.
There's enough species of deer out there. All right, what's your favourite movie?
Lone Survivor.
It's a good movie.
Yes,
Marcus Luttrell.
yes. I think that was filmed incredibly well, and there was a few aspects of that sort of
Marcus was as far as my understanding goes. He helped direct it, mate.
yeah.
So he sort of captured. It's obviously what the movie's based around. Yeah. So he obviously tried to capture what he went through. Anyway, sorry, go on.
But that's like just a few spots where I sort of remember how just something was different at the time compared to other movies. I think it was 3/4 of the way through the movie how he ended up taking that big roll down the hill, and just the camera just spinning with him to sort of immerse yourself into that situation was something that I really enjoyed, and a lot of movies hadn't done that before. So I just feel like it was really captured well, and it was sort of, I don't know, inspirational with what he went through to survive.
Yeah.
That was
man.
crazy.
Oh, big time. I mean, I know I've not from a military background in any means, but I could tell at least just through stories that, and it just felt as well that it was just more of a realistic sort of capture of what was going on, more so than a lot of the Hollywooded up sort of stories you see. So
It's probably like the modern Saving Private Ryan movie, because I guess that was sort of that made waves when Saving Private Ryan was made.
Good cast as well, actually. You remember they found the kid and the dad, and they're talking. I think it was the dad, or it was just a kid. I can't remember, but they were talking about like in amongst the section how they're like, one of the dudes just
they're up on
fucking
the hill.
cap him,
Yeah.
and the other guys are like, no, we can't do this. That actually goes on like that
would
is your
100%
thought
go on,
process,
yes.
man. Like that in that scenario, those questions would be asked in amongst those men.
Oh, for sure.
100%.
Like no one's going to know apart from you lot,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
your section.
Yeah.
And you just got to make sure, I guess, everyone can live with that decision.
Yeah.
And I guess hindsight, it probably would have been different decisions made. But in that
At
situation,
the cost of what, man? Essentially murdering a child.
Yeah, I guess without knowing what could come, it'd be hard to live with.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh, definitely. But coming in this current situation, I'm sure they'd want to go back and be like, let's do it. And then, everyone's going to survive.
It's easy either way, really, in hindsight.
It is.
benefit of
Hindsight's a
hindsight.
wonderful thing. But I agree, man. I took a lot. I actually ended up Googling Marcus Luttrell after it. I first watched that video. And, man, he was shot. I'm pretty sure he broke his back. He fell down the cliff,
He
obviously.
broke everything.
He crawled like 15 Ks to the nearest town, man. Like,
Through enemy territory.
yeah, after it. Because he couldn't walk. So he crawled.
I think he'd shot multiple times.
Yeah, I think I don't want to
Yeah.
say because I can't remember completely, but yeah, absolutely inspirational, man. And it goes to show what the mind can, how much you can push through in your mind. And it's hard. It's hard to watch. I wouldn't recommend it, to some people. Like some people might end up absolutely bawling their eyes out after it. But hey, depiction of war, I guess.
Oh, yeah, obviously. But everyone would know their own limit with what they can watch.
It's definitely confronting. Yeah.
Couchy, recommend someone to be on this podcast?
Ryan.
I should probably say recommend someone to be a guest on this podcast, not recommend someone to be on this podcast.
Yeah, you're fired.
I would love to get Dwayne on, actually.
The Rock Johnson.
Yes, Dwayne The Rock. No, like a mate of ours, Dwayne, so taxidermist here in SA, and is pretty renowned across Australia for what he does, and self-taught, does an extremely good job, and very modest man, but I would love to get him on just to pick his brain and just to see the ins and outs of what he's gone through and where he wants to go, and yeah.
He's a bit of an untapped resource of knowledge, I reckon. So I think if we could squeeze out a little bit of knowledge from him, it would just go a long way.
Yeah. So Dwayne, if you're listening to this, love you. And get a hold of us.
Yep. Good one, I reckon.
We will endeavour to do that.
Yeah, I think people would definitely like to hear it from a taxidermist because, I don't know, I suppose a few people would have contacts out there, but for the vast majority of people, certainly if you've never had something taxidermied, it's a bit of a fucking dark art just about like, what is this shit? How do you do any of what they do?
And then I guess, like, obviously, without knowing anything as well, the price of taxidermy seems quite high. But then again, I know there's a lot of time and effort and chemicals. There's just an art to it that, it's, to considering it's not that much to what's involved. So it'd be good for everyone to learn, all shooters and all that, to learn the complexities behind it.
Yeah, what goes into it.
It's the industry is a lot of people look at it as they're mountain dead animals, but no, it's artistry. They're an artist, and each different taxidermist puts their spin on their mounts.
Yeah, no one's the same.
Yeah, and the facial expressions, and that's art. And he's
got an eye for it. That's for sure.
Definitely has an eye for it. Yeah,
I believe you two are waiting on a couple of mounts.
I still got to drop my ready.
We're in the fucking queue somewhere.
Yeah.
He's a man in demand.
He is. And he's going to hate this because he's like, I'm not taking any more on this year.
No, he's top bloke, and I'd love to see him on here.
Good one. All right, last one. What was your first rifle?
I think I've said this just before. First rifle was a CZ 4.52, I'm pretty sure, 22 Magnum, 4.55.
Yeah.
So that was, I forget when I bought that. I think it was 2013-ish. I was still in the army at the time. And I kind of wish I went a 22 right now, because 22 Magnum's probably about double the cost to run, just with ammo. Ouch. So I'm probably looking at getting rid of that and going a 22. It's just something cheaper, just so I can throw lead down range and
that's a good
get
idea.
some time.
Get a voodoo.
It, so
First rifle, sell.
yeah, that's whatever. It's a nice looking rifle. Like,
So
it's just an old.
you're saying
wooden stock.
like a couple of years, Caleb, you got some coin behind you, but you're like, I don't want to really outlay much. You got your little Brewhilda sitting there in the closet. You wouldn't take it down to the gun shop and be like, let's trade it in an upgrade.
Firstly, it's Genevieve, not Broomhilda, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Look, if I had endless money, I wouldn't sell it. But the fact is, I don't. So
Yeah, and there's like a limited amount of space.
If I had
gun
a
safe as well.
if I had a 22, I wouldn't be shooting the 22 Magnum really. So why keep it?
That's
I agree.
fair. And you've got a 223 now.
I got a 223. I got a sword out yet. So
the 22 Magnum's almost
superseded. Really.
Yeah, it has. You really just need to have the gap 22, 223.
Yes.
08. Then you're nicely spaced, I reckon.
I agree.
lever action.
And you hit the nail on the head, man. They're cheap to run. You can sling lead all day long.
Yeah, that's
for 50 or for $75 now, probably a brick.
like Magnums aren't too. I guess not too bad to run, but I guess knowing that the 22s are half to a third of the cost makes it hurt a little bit more. So
that's 2 to 3 times more rounds.
Exactly.
Down range, mate. Or
Yeah, that adds up.
and then everyone has a 22. Well, you have a 22? Yeah, that's what, yeah. Everyone has a 22, so you could always have those little comps where 22 Magnum doesn't really fit it because it's just better than the 22.
Yeah. And you can do dumb shit with it in your comps. You know, like make crazy stances or positions, and you know, if you're slinging like 5 rounds, it's not like $30 a downrange. It's like fucking $1.
Yeah,
not even 50 cents, 20 cents.
Yeah, no practicality. I kind of get you.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not too much sentimental attachment to it then.
Nah, not really.
But what 22 would you go?
No idea.
Is that a new brand? Is it?
Say again.
Is that a new brand? Is it?
No idea.
No idea.
Yes.
I'm not really sure, to be honest, like what I'll go. Something probably more of a chassis system than just a wooden stock.
Oh, throw the wood out. Actually, no.
Settle down.
Unscrew the
MDT
wood,
chassis would be good.
cut it in half, put it in your fucking wood fire, burn the thing, and keep warm.
I'll just buy a 22 with the chassis on it.
Yeah, that's well, you're gonna need to. Yeah.
Well, I was talking to you about this the other day because
You've got a penchant for fucking wood.
the CZ452, which used to be yours,
You should check that on the chassis.
this was the exact discussion we had, was I have been tempted to, but I just like having a rifle that is in a timber stock.
You do realise that you don't have to get rid of the timber.
They used to be
You could put, yeah, it did, but you could take the wood off, put your chassis on, and then when you want to cream your pants, put the wood back on.
That's a lot. That's too much fucking around.
It's 2 bolts, motherfucker.
Yeah, but it's
really
still
not much.
just fucking around.
It's not.
No, it's not.
I want it to live in its home. I want it to feel warm and surrounded by.
It's gun safe and never take it out.
No, I don't want to fuck around doing that. I want to be able to grab it out of the gun safe and fucking go use it.
So leave the chassis on, and then when you want to get wood, fucking
No,
put your wood on.
like that's
What appeals to you with wood stocks?
nothing, right? Except for that rifle, because I've fucking shot a fuck ton of rabbits in it, and it just feels
we
nice.
all have, like-
we all have, right? But
Stratford.
It's a slut.
it just it just feels nice, and I don't want to. I don't want to fucking do something
Don't
weird and
fix what's
wonderful
not
with it.
broken.
Yeah,
So,
it just feels good, man. It feels comfortable. It feels like a bit warmer than a synthetic.
but would you buy a synthetic 22 over restocking that?
Yeah. So if I bought a brand newie, I'd buy one in a chassis already.
Yeah, and keep your
And
wooden
keep the
and
wooden one.
chassis. Yeah.
Yep. I wouldn't.
That's going to be hard because there's not too many 22s out there that come standard in chassis.
Or just immediately
Nowadays, there's a lot more.
fuck off whatever it comes in and put it in a chassis straight away before I get attached to whatever it comes in.
Oh, I'm
attached to what that one is in.
when Dad gets his 22 in, I'm going to fucking we'll go to the range, you can shoot it, and you're going to be like, you'll come in your pants, mate. You'll be like, fuck the wood.
To be honest, that's probably a 22 I'd go for with what you're getting with your dad.
The 457 in an MDT LSS, yeah. It's fucking nice, man.
There's not a whole lot. I mean, there's probably people out there that hate it, but there's not a whole lot I can see wrong with it right now.
Well, so diving into this research, I did find out that the CZ action is compared to, say, like a voodoo action or something like that. It is actually a little bit flexible. So when you screw it in, you can sort of over tighten it and flex. But I mean, this is where you sort of, I guess, you'd stay in your tolerances, and this is another thing that Caleb and I spoke about the other day, is so you go to spec with your tolerances, and then you want, especially with a 22, you set your torque wrench like 5 pounds less. So you shoot a group on max pounds to spec, and then you torque it back, shoot it again, torque it back, shoot it again, 5 pound increments, and you actually find a sweet spot in your torsion where the rifle and action, action and stock will sort of sing and hum. Yeah. It's very apparent in a 22 because I've done this with my precision trainer. But that's the only issue that everyone says is there's a little bit more flex with the CZ over other actions out there in a chassis. Obviously, because metal on metal, you can tighten something and flex it. But that's all right. Having said that, yeah, they're the best bang for your buck, the CZ
Oh, I love it, man. But I think I'll keep it the way it is.
Fair enough.
Just because I like the feel of it, the sentimental value of it. It's like original the way it was forever. So I'll keep that one. If I buy another 22 down the track, then I'll get something funky. Either a chassis or a lever action 22 or something like that.
Have you dented the stock yet?
No, I look after it pretty good. So only dents are in it
As
are the
what
ones that
changes?
are pre-existing.
Okay.
I haven't added new ones.
We had a
That's the
mutual
worst.
friend actually that thing was impeccable until went rabbit hunting with a mutual friend, and we were sort of behind this fence, and we were just laid up waiting on these rabbits on the other side of the fence, about 20 metres, and the fence was I'd say it's like 4-link or whatever, and he's, instead of shooting back and in the open between the link of the fence, he's just poked the barrel through the fence, and I've just watched the strand of the wire run along the top of the barrel and in between the scope. And I remember just sitting there going, bro, if I did that with your rifle, you would have murdered me. Like, I didn't care because it's a fucking gun. It's a tool at the end of the day. But the thing in my head was, if I did that to your, because he was very precious of his rifles. If I did that to your rifle, you would have probably stabbed me, like, without a doubt. But I didn't mention anything. But yeah, that was the first time I got a nick, and after that I was like, who gives a shit?
Is that the same guy that dropped mine?
Yeah,
Out of the side of the ute?
yeah,
Oh,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah, all right. No, I know you're talking about now.
yeah.
Yep.
And then
They
you-
decided to blame it on me.
yeah,
Yeah, all right.
yeah, yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Well, anyway,
Good times.
It still looks good. it's not that dented up.
Oh, it's got some scars.
It's
on
got character.
Yeah.
it. Yeah, it's definitely got a few STDs.
I feel like there's an ad that would play well at this point.
I played that ad actually for my missus' brother the other day. He fucking crapped himself
Oh, I
laughing.
showed my
Hey, no-
missus that ad.
Oh, really?
And she lost it.
How good is it?
Yeah. But then what I find weird about that ad is
You found me sexy?
The last 2 years, you've been calling Caleb the sex pest. And then that's your topic of ad that you want to
I do that, man, to pay out Caleb. So that was completely
No, tribute to me. Tribute.
Yeah, all right,
Thank you.
tribute,
Thank you.
tribute to Caleb. Yeah, yeah.
I just found that funny, that's all.
Like, if you spend fucking 3 minutes with Caleb, you just know. You just like, you know, when you look at a photo at someone and they're like pedo or whatever, you look at Caleb and you're like, sex pest. Yeah, fucking-
Thanks, bro.
that's all right, buddy.
I think it's a beard.
No, it's just your face.
It's the last free beard ride you get.
Wants the mustache ride.
Oh, crap. Fuck. All right, well, let's ask the questions. Do you want to go free ball or what do we want to do here? Should we wrap this thing up?
Well, I need a pee.
You always
Well, that's irrelevant.
Well, it is. It is. But, look, I like it. You know, I know you, Couchy, so...
Is there anything else you
Yeah.
wanted to ask me for everyone else to know?
Do we think we need to extrapolate any information for the listeners?
Oh, well, apart from he supposedly looks like Chris Hemsworth, which is not true.
It's 100%.
0. 0%.
You know,
I've been told multiple times.
but no. Look, I think that gives a good insight to Shannon.
Well, I guess everyone will get to know me in the weeks to come. So
True.
Yeah, if you pass the probationary period. Yeah.
from what I've heard, I'm going to be replacing you. Joshua.
Yeah. Thanks.
I realised no one else
Thanks,
saw how I
veteran
pointed.
hunts. Oh, no, that's pretty good. Do you have any questions, Caleb? Do you have any queries, doubtful points?
No, I mean, I think over the coming weeks we'll get some more out of Couchy and people will learn his personality, and I think it's going to be a good season. We've got some exciting guests coming up, so stay tuned for that. Season 5 is going to be rich with guests. It's been good. It's been a good first episode back. It's nice to freshen things up.
It's Been a good first episode.
It has,
Yes.
and I'm fucking lit.
I think it's the first time we got back on the port for a while. So
Yeah,
it's
that
taken me-
fucking
it's taken me by surprise.
Romano's
It's only
fucking
half.
busy.
It's the sugar, bro. You're not used to it.
Yeah, like dead set, dead set. Like I typically will watch my sugar anyway, but I've been pretty sugar free for a little while now, and that shit's fucking buzzing my head. On a lighter note, I don't have a headache, probably because I'm lit. Oh shit!
That helps.
We'll have to get some sheep dip in here, actually, next time. Couchy's like, fuck, I got to work tomorrow. How do you
dip?
guys do this fucking week on, week out? Not
Man,
sheep
this is-
dip.
Why are we getting
Sheepdog.
dip? Oh, sheepdog. Fuck.
This is not even my bedtime yet. It's fine.
Really? It's really?
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 Really? This is early. If I get
You are known for going to bed early
that now. No,
since
that was
your
probably
current relationship.
no. That was probably when I go to bed with her. Not if naturally I want to go to bed.
Now he's in another bed.
now it's been 5 years. It's whatever.
Has it been 5 years, man?
Yes, just over 5 years. Yeah.
Holy fuck. Holy
Time
shit.
ticks along.
Yeah, so he's not signal. Signal. Fuck
Signal.
me. All right, the fucking port's hit me now
It's
too.
time. It's time.
He's not single for anyone who's wondering, male or female, out there in listener land.
Yeah. Apologise.
He prefers males. Oh, yeah, that's it.
No,
What do you like
just,
to be?
I just prefer you, Josh.
What do
No,
you
not
like
all
to be?
males.
Oh, everyone prefers me, bro. Thanks, bro.
What are your pronouns?
Yeah.
Pronouns.
Just so people can
Yeah.
address you properly in
Yeah,
the chat.
properly. This is a legit thing, all right?
So what do you mean pronouns?
What are your pronouns?
You put me on the spot.
The fact that you don't know what we're referring to about pronouns is probably a good thing.
It's baffling.
Yes.
Are you he, she?
They, them,
Mister. Sir.
sir. Yes.
Oh, so
Like if I was going to
Yeah, you don't work for a
specify a
living.
fucking pronoun, I'd say sir as well.
Oh.
You will fucking call me sir. Bitch.
Majesty. Fucking Majesty.
king, king,
King.
king.
Fucking yours would be Jester.
Your Highness.
Do I make you laugh?
Oh, yeah, you make me laugh.
Oh, well, that's my job done, motherfucker. I'm a professional.
Anyway, I think we've reached that
Yes.
point tonight. We're turning into ridiculous idiots. And hope you've enjoyed the first episode of season 5. Stay tuned because we've got a guest next week
We do.
all the way from New Zealand.
Oh, yeah. We're going intercontinental.
Yeah. Some Kiwi flavour.
That's going to be some good fun.
You want a bit of kiwi juice?
That sounds really bad.
Oh, that
Yeah.
sounds terrible, actually.
We do. So, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for next episode. We have a lass from New Zealand.
We do. So
We do.
enjoy.
Your guesses can be whatever you want, but I have no idea what I'm saying.
He's becoming incoherent, everyone. The port's hit him. Let's wrap this thing up. Thanks, Couchy, for being the new host. I hope
worries,
everyone
guys.
enjoys this episode and getting to know you over the coming weeks. Thanks for listening. Enjoy the new fucking intro and outro song.
That was a dig.
What?
It wasn't. I spent a lot of
But it is now.
I spent a lot of time in the studio writing this, everyone. So enjoy it.
The studio. Gotcha.
See ya.
Gotchas. G'day, dude and dudettes. Josh here. Do you find it hard to keep your long, hard barrels free from gun STDs? Maybe you need a clean out of your bore. If this is you, jump on over to highcaliber.com.au and use the promo code SENDITMATE to receive a 10% discount on all your gun cleaning needs. And remember, it's sexy to support Australian-made products. Everyone here at Send It Mate uses High Caliber, and we can promise you that it'll keep your firearms free from those pesky gun STDs.